Colorado High School Activities Association Softball is on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Next to a speaker, it's a Patriot League softball clash as the visiting Brush Bee Diggers take on the Strasburg Indians. Don't worry about the intro here to this game. The music will be turned off during the action. I'm John Beltran with Evan James. The Bee Diggers and the Indians go into the game with a 6-6 record. And they played earlier this month with Strasburg winning in Brush by a score of 16-5 after the Bee Diggers had built a 5-0 lead. And then all of a sudden, with 2 outs in the third inning, Brush just needed the 1 out, and Braylon Rule, who was pitching so well, lost control of her pitches. Strasburg capitalized with some base hits, and they scored 16 unanswered runs. We know that these teams are even, that it's not indicative of that particular score that we saw 3 weeks ago. Bee Diggers starting lineup is brought to you by
Greg Mullen State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, Greg Mullen and his team are there to make the insurance world easy for you. Call them today at 842-4555.
Batting first for the Bee Diggers is the shortstop, Brooke Rule. The pitcher, Braylon Rule, hits second. Grace Georgiou, the catcher, bats third. The cleanup hitters, the third baseman, Madeline Poss. Second baseman, Riley Lake, hits fifth. Carly Tattolini, the center fielder, hits sixth. Batting seventh is the left fielder, Alexis Corral. Olivia Odell in right hits eighth.
For the Bee Diggers, shortstop,
and
11,
Kylie Abreu, the
Rule.
first baseman, hits ninth. Defensively, Emily Stevens is at first. The second baseman is Rio Smith. Over at third is Caitlin Swallow. And Autumn Stone is at short. And the opening pitch is in the dirt, brought to you by
High Plains Bank, your friendly local community bank, serving Wiggins and all surrounding areas. Find out more at highplainsbank.com.
Heidi Price is the pitcher here for Strasburg. The right-hander delivers to Brooke Rule, and that is upstairs. In left field is Grayson Graff. Aubrey Archuleta is in center. Tara Gustafson in right. Jody Archuleta is behind the plate. And it is 2-0 here on Brooke Rule, the pitch. And that is down and in. Rule is hitting .475, just having a monster senior season for Brush. 3 balls and no strikes, and the Bee Diggers need this game badly. They're 17th in the RPI. If the playoffs started today, they would not qualify. You got to be top 16. And the 3-0. And that is a strike on the outside corner. Ball 3, strike 1. Here to Brooke Rule. Gorgeous day in Strasburg, a perfect day. And the pitch swung on and lifted into right center field. That ball's got major carry towards the fence, and it's gone! It's a home run on the 5th pitch of the game. Brooke Rule over the right center field fence, which is standing tall over there, and the Bee Diggers lead 1-0.
How about that, John? I mean, getting it started right off here today.
With a nice opposite field shot. I mean, that was gorgeous.
Amazing hit by Brooke Rule.
And that'll send up Braylon Rule. She's having an excellent sophomore season at the plate, batting .441.
Braylon Rule.
Well, this is not just the key here. Getting a good start on the road. They got off to a good start
at home
with a 5-0 lead before it just unraveled. So they've got to play 7 innings here in Strasburg. Heidi Price, the right-hander, comes home. And that is in there for a strike at the knees. Took something off it. Oh, he might have called that a ball. Yeah, he did. A little bit low. Wow. That looked right there. 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch. And that is lower than the last one. 2 balls and no strikes. Followed by Grace Georgiou, who is not homered. Well, she homered at home this year. I'm trying to think. I think her homers are on the road. And that tails inside. I think Grace's home runs are all... No, she hit 1 at home. She did hit 1 at home. The game-tying 3-run homer against Sterling.
Oh, yeah.
She's got 2 of her 3 homers on the road. 3 balls and no strikes. The pitch. And that is up and in, but it's called a strike.
Just a reminder, folks, don't touch any of the balls that are in play, be it a home run ball or a foul ball.
3
Just
balls
leave it
and
set,
1
and
strike.
The players will come get it.
Here to the right-handed hitting, Braylon Rule. Getting the sign there from Jody Archuleta, the pitch. And that's outside. It's a walk to Rule, and that'll send up Georgiou. It's exactly what you want, somebody on base.
At the plate.
5:59.
Catcher.
Hitting
Georgian. Senior.
With a lot of power this year. Although she's not been performing that well lately at the plate. I think she's just getting over anxious. She's got to wait for her pitch. She's had quite a few pop-ups. We haven't seen the line drives on a consistent basis. And that includes a game against Valley. Her average has actually dropped about 100 points, but we know how good she is. And the pitch, and that is upstairs on a changeup. A combination of the changeup and the rise ball. 1 ball and no strikes. To Grace Georgiou. The pitch, and that is right there on the outside corner. It's even at 1-1. But that's kind of where she likes it. Just she can extend those arms. At first base is the courtesy runner. That is Aaliyah Carrera, the pitch. Swung on, grounded up the middle. That's a base hit into center field. And that'll be 1 base there for Aaliyah Carrera, because Archuleta gets the ball in quickly, and the Bee Diggers have 2 hits here in the top of the first inning. And that was the pitch to hit right down the middle.
Madeline Poss.
Critical part of the lineup for Brush, Madeline Poss will now bat. Hitting .333. Her average continues to climb. And well, apparently when the courtesy runner came in, I don't know if
we're having another one here. Keely Langford at first,
and
Aaliyah Carrera at second.
Okay, got it. Okay. I didn't see the back on the back end. So Carrera at second, as Evan just alluded to, and Keely Langford now added to the roster. And she was added because the rosters today were extended from 12 to 15 players. So the changes for softball is that the rosters have been extended by 3, and now the opening round, instead of a one-day tournament, which I thought was absurd, on October 10th on a Saturday, the first round, if Brush qualifies, even if they don't qualify, same thing. It would be Tuesday, October 6th, quarterfinals Thursday, October 8th. Then you have the semis and the finals in Aurora on Saturday, October 10th. And that pitch is low. 1 ball and no strikes to the right-handed hitting third baseman, Madeline Poss. The Bee Diggers with a 1-0 lead on a home run over the right center field fence by Brooke Rule on the 5th pitch of the game. And the 1-0, that's upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Emily Stevens was the Indian that started the first game. The 16-5 win by Strasburg in early September in Brush. It is 2-0 here from Price to Poss, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Boy, she took a really rough swing at that. Tailing down and in, it's 2-1. She almost tried to chop that ball. And Price is struggling right now with 10 balls and just 6 strikes. 2-1. Poss has got to try to go to right field. The pitch, and that is a strike on the inside corner at the, no, it was, I'm hearing him say something. I guess it's ball. 3-1. It's such a loud call that it
sounds like a strike.
It sounds like strike, yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, well, I'll just wait.
You're not the only one, John.
3-1. Swung on, that's grounded left side, and the play's going to be made to first for the out. The grounder to the shortstop, Autumn Stone. The runners do advance. I thought she had the force at second. But the Bee Diggers now have 2 in scoring position on the 6-3. And 1 down here for Riley Lake, and she's got to deliver right now. Lake on the season is hitting .286. And she has driven in 5 runs. A base hit could make it 7. The pitch. Oh, that's down the middle. I'm not sure why she took that. That's right there. 0-1. That might be the best pitch she sees in this sequence.
Not 100% agree with you there, John.
Well, I mean, you know that the pitcher wants to get ahead.
Yeah.
Especially in this situation. No balls and 1 strike. Pitch to Lake. Swung on and driven into left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit, and that ball continues to roll towards the fence. Lake to second. Carrera scores. And here comes Keely Langford. She will cross home plate. Well, it wasn't the best pitch. It was the second pitch as the senior delivers a 2-run double. And Brush now leads 3-0 in the first inning.
What can we say, John? It's 2020.
Well, no. I mean, hey, she's a senior.
Center fielder, number 6.
Here's the left-handed hitting Carly Tattalini. But that was some raw power there by Lake. Tattalini from the left side. The pitch. Swung on and grounded to first on a hop. It's off the first baseman, Stevens, and reaching is going to be Tattalini. Here comes Lake to the plate. She will score. No RBI. It's an error, and Brush now leads 4-0 in the first inning. A rather three-quarter swing there by Tattalini because it was a little bit of a changeup, and she was fooled on the pitch, but she reaches, and Brush takes advantage
number 3, Alexis Corral.
of that error. That'll send up Alexis Corral. That's a huge error. And Stevens knew it. The pitch. Outside corner, strike one. Corral, out of the 7 hole, is hitting .258. Odell is on deck. Brushes come through with 4 runs here in the top of the first in Strasburg. The pitch. Up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. The game began with a home run by Brooke Rule. Then a walk to Braylon Rule, a base hit by Georgiou. Pulse grounder to short, and then a 2-run double by Riley Lake, preceded by the air. Swing and a miss, runner going to second, no throw. Head first slide by Lake. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Lake with an uncontested steal.
Tattalini.
Check that. Yeah, Lake already scored. Thank you. It is Tattalini, 1-2. Yeah, she's taller than Riley. And Riley scored, yeah. It's okay. It's only game 13, John. It's not like I haven't been doing this the whole season. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Corral awaits from the right side. The pitch. Swung on and lifted foul. Now to play off to the right. Count remains at 1-2. I heard a happy birthday there. I know the happy birthday is her mom, Gail Corral, so I'm sure she wants a little bit of a birthday present here with a base hit. 1-2. Up and away. Ball 2, strike 2. That was the 26th pitch at the top of the first here from Heidi Price. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Corral awaits. Tattalini is at second. The pitch. Down and in. Ball 3, strike 2. This is an excellent plate appearance here for Alexis Corral. The Bee Diggers have 2 extra base hits in the inning. They've resulted in 3 of their 4 runs. And the 3-2. Swung on and lifted into left field. Should be a routine play to her left and making the grab for the out. Now advancing to third on the throw, and that's going to be late. Is going to be Tattalini as the ball was caught by Grayson Graff. And there's 2 down. Aggressive base running. The Bee Diggers are going to be doing that
hitting for the Bulldogs
throughout the course of the game.
Right fielder number 22, Olivia Odell. Bee Diggers.
Odell is now batting and having a tough season at the plate. Hitting .208. Swung on and lifted foul. Now to play off to the right. No balls and 1 strike.
Some Bulldogs do dig beats, so I was kind of correct.
No, you were wrong, dude. Okay, Kylie Abreu is on deck. And the 1 pitch swung on and fisted foul. I mean, that pitch was closer to her face than it was
Looked like
being
got her
hit.
finger a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, this is part of the struggle when you're batting just over 200.
Yeah.
Olivia's trying to figure things out. She did have a base hit against Valley. And the pitch, swing and a miss. She strikes out. And that does it for the Bee Diggers in the top of the first inning. Not before they get a home run from Brooke Rule, a 2-run double from Riley Lake. They pick up 3 hits in the inning.
The bottom of the first inning.
Valley did commit 1 error. We head to the Strasburg did commit 1 error. That's 2 mistakes I made in the first inning. We head to the bottom of the first inning. They beat Valley, by the way, last week, 12-0. Somebody should tell John that. The Beat Diggers lead the Strasburg Indians 4-0. Strasburg is coming to bat on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Stone.
Let's get to the starting lineup for the Strasburg Indians. The Beat Diggers scored 4 runs at the top of the first inning. Batting first is the shortstop Autumn Stone. Rio Smith, the second baseman, at second. The pitcher Heidi Price bats third against Braylon Rule, who delivers a pitch inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Jody Archuleta, the catcher, hits fourth. Aubrey Archuleta, the center fielder, hits fifth. Left fielder Grayson Graff hits sixth. First baseman Emily Stevens bats seventh. 1-0. And that's right there for a strike. At the knees down the middle, it's 1-1. Caitlin Swallow at third hits eighth, and Tara Gustafson, the right fielder, bats ninth. 1 ball and 1 strike. The offering swung on and fisted foul on the ground up the third base side. Kylie Abreu's at first base, Riley Lake at second, Madeline Poss is the third baseman. Between them is Brooke Rule at short, Alexis Corrales in left, the center fielders Carly Tatalini, Olivia Odell in right, Grace Georgiou behind the plate. 1-2 by Braylon Rule. Swung on, line, base hit into left center field. That ball is going to be cut off over there and left by Corral. The throw towards second, and it's off the glove of Lake. That they would have got her. Oh, boy, that's a huge mistake there. They would have nailed her by 5 feet. And Lake dropped the ball. It's a straight-up double.
Sophomore number 8, Rio Smith.
Yeah, you got to catch those. I mean, she shouldn't have taken off her second. Stone was going to be thrown out by a mile. All Riley had to do was catch it, apply the tag. She'd have been out by several feet. But the ball went off her glove on a perfect throw, but it's not scored in error because you cannot assume the out. The pitch, and that is low. 1 ball and no strikes to Rio Smith. She did not play in the first game. The 16-5 victory 3 weeks ago by Strasburg in Brush. And the offering. That bounces in, but blocked there by Georgiou. It's 2-0. Yeah, you don't mind if the other team hits.
Yeah.
But you have to play flawless at this time of year. The pitch. 3-0. Well, let me say this. We have to look at the combination of walks, and hit batters.
Mm-hmm.
If Braylon has 3 or less combined, Brush wins. 4 or 5, it's either way. And that pitch is a strike down the middle. If she has more than 5 combined hit batters or walks, the only way Brush wins is if they score at least 10 runs.
Yeah.
They cannot win under that scenario because they have been scoring a ton of runs this year. And that is ball 4 inside. They haven't scored a ton of runs this year against the upper teams.
Yeah.
They scored 7 against University in a loss, 7 against Sterling in a win, 4 against University in a loss, 5 against Strasburg in a loss, 1 against Eaton in a loss. So if Braylon does not have it, they're going to have to score at least 10 runs. The pitch, strike down the middle to the strong right-handed hitter, the opposing pitcher, Heidi Price. Let's check out this team statistically. And that ball hit her. The bases are loaded. Price hitting just 286 coming in, and now she gets a free bag.
At the plate for the Indians, senior catcher number 5, Jody Archuleta.
So you have a double, which could have been an out.
Yep.
A walk and a hit batter. Thankfully, Brush is up 4-0, but
It could change real quick.
the lead is in jeopardy, without a doubt. And here's already some trouble here, the cleanup hitter. And Jody Archuleta, the offering, up and away. Jody Archuleta is hitting .242. It's not like they've got players here in the middle of the lineup that are just clubbing the ball. Throw some strikes and give your defense a shot. 1 ball and no strikes. Braylon Rule in some early trouble. Brush leads 4-0, and that ball's down and in. She has thrown 13 pitches, only 5 in the strike zone. She continues to pound the ball in the glove, but unfortunately that's not an omen that's helping her right now. It is 2-0 to Archuleta. And that pitch is up and in, not even close. Tom Odell's going to have to come out of the dugout and pay a visit there. 3 balls and no strikes. Yeah, Brush does not beat Strasburg or Lions or Sterling Saturday. They're not going to the playoffs, which is rare for a Brush team. Right there, strike one on the inner half. 3 balls and 1 strike. She's got to do that at least one more time, if not twice. 3-1 here with Aubrey Archuleta on deck. Right now, this is Jody, the Strasburg catcher. Pitch is swung on, popped up. Infield fly is called, so the catch is made by the second baseman, Riley Lake, who had to come in several steps. Automatic out anyway, but it's an F4, 1 down.
At the plate for the Indians.
Boy, that's a big pitch there. A great pitch there, babe, on the outer half by Braylon Rule. Here's Aubrey Archuleta. Aubrey Archuleta was 0 for 2 in the first game. Pitch by Braylon. Up and in, 1 ball and no strikes. You just can't fall behind. Got to get that. One of the first 2 pitches has got to be a strike. I mean, she did a phenomenal job of getting out of that last one, but you go to the well once too often. The pitch. That's over, but it's low. 2-0. I mean, you root so hard for Braylon Rule. 1, she's a beat digger. And 2, she's working hard. 2-0 pitch. Outside corner for a strike, belt high. And she took something off it, which was a good idea to make sure she planted. That she placed that ball right there. 2-1. The bases are loaded for Strasburg. 1 down, bottom of the first inning. Brush with a 4-0 lead. The pitch. That's right down the middle for a strike. Just above the knees, it's 2-2. The Bee Diggers got a home run to lead off the game by Brooke Rule and a 2-run double by Riley Lake, who has now driven in 7 runs on the season. 2-2 here to Aubrey. The pitch. Swing and a miss and a ball tailing in. And there's 2 down. How about that for Braylon Rule?
That was awesome.
At the plate for the Indians.
B&B Appliance and Repair. From refrigerators to vacuums and everything in between. They have exactly what you need and service it too.
Grayson Graff was 1 for 3 in the first game against Brush. I mean, this is a great comeback here by Braylon. Pitch is down and in, but she has to complete it.
Has to get that third out.
I mean, I would have figured she's given up at least a couple of runs here, but it's still 4-0 with 2 down in the bottom of the first. The pitch. Outside corner for a strike. Oh, she painted that beautifully. 1 ball and 1 strike. I think I've used all 3 verbs. Painted, planted, and placed. And she's starting to do that right now to these last 3 hitters. The offering. Well, bounces in. Nice backhanded stop there by Georgiou. Here's a critical pitch at 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Let's see what she comes up with. The pitch. Swung on and grounded to short. Brooke Rule's going to charge, and she bobbles, throws to first. That'll be late. It's an infield hit. That ball kind of rolled up her wrist. She was going to beat it out anyway. It was hit so slowly. Scoring is Autumn Stone. It's 4-1.
At the plate for the Indians, senior first base, number 11.
Yeah, that was just bad luck.
Stevens.
I think if she fields it cleanly, she's still going to be safe.
Yeah.
Emily Stevens is up. The right-handed hitting first baseman. The pitch. Swing and a miss, and a ball dipping in the zone. No balls and 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the first inning. The Bee Diggers have a 4-1 lead, but you got to keep it right here at 4-1. You don't want to give up another run or 2. The offering. Swung on. That is grounded to third. Pause has it. Throws to first. Inning over. And the Bee Diggers dodge a major bullet. It could have been much, much worse. 1 run.
Bee Diggers 4, Lady Indians 1.
On 2 hits. No errors, and the bases were left loaded. We're going to head to the second inning here in Strasburg. The Bee Diggers hold a 4-1 lead. We're back in 1 minute on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Senior number 9, Kylie Abreu.
It'll be 9-1-2 for Brush against Heidi Price. The Bee Diggers lead the Strasburg Indians 4-1 in the top of the second inning. Heidi Price delivers, and that is a little bit low and away. 1 ball and no strikes to Kylie Abreu, hitting .391. She's gone deep this year a couple of times. The pitch, swung on, hit off the end of the bat, foul. Right behind the plate, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Okay, I'm going to give you a break here, Evan. Come within 3 degrees of the game time temperature, which is the same as of right now. 3 degrees after this pitch. And the 1-1 to Abreu. Change up high. Ball 2, strike 1. Give me a number.
I'm going to say 75.
Oh, you are so close. 79. The pitch swung on and popped up into shallow center field. The second baseman goes out and draws for a base hit. Abreu to second, and she slides in safely. Boy, that was a lazy play out there, and it's going to result in a double by Abreu. Archuleta had to run a long way, but for some reason, Rio Smith just nonchalant to the ball. I think she should have had that, but it's going to be scored a straight-up double. She never got underneath it, and there'll be a conversation on the hill. That was played very, very nonchalantly and very, very shallow center field. It was definitely the ball for the second baseman, and it's going to drop, but I'm surprised. That should have been an easy play because that ball was hit. A lot of trajectory, but the B-Diggers will take it. Here comes Michelle Woodard. Yeah, you've got to make those plays. I mean, this is essentially a playoff game. More important for Brush than it is for Strasburg because Strasburg's 13th in the RPI.
Yeah.
But as soon as that ball was hit, what'd you think? That was an out?
Yeah, I 100% thought that was an out.
That should have been an easy out, but for some reason, it's fixing that. Hopefully that looked like it was strangling the mic. All right, here we go. Brooke Rule on the 5th pitch of the game hit a home run.
Top of the order for the Beat Diggers. Shortstop, number 11.
It was on a 3-1 pitch over right center field. And a lot of your fences in high school softball are fairly low, but
this one's pretty high.
These fences are at least 12 feet high. At least. I'd say 12. And the pitch is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Brooke Rule keeps hitting like this. She's going to be hitting 500 before the end of this game. She was at 441 coming in. Maybe not quite 500, but she's closing in. And the offering, squaring to bunt, lays it down. The pitcher's going to charge Price. Throw it to first, and that's going to be low, and it skips by the first baseman, Stevens. Here comes Abreu. She will score. Brooke Rule into second. We'll call it a base hit and an error on the pitcher. And Brush now leads 5-1 in the second inning.
Yeah, Stevens just lost that ball. I mean, it kind of skipped right under.
Well, yeah, but it was not a good throw. So it's
not at all.
It's on the pitcher.
Pitcher, number 4.
That is definitely on the pitcher. And with Brooks Rule's speed, I think she really
capitalized on that.
Well, she intimidated the throw there. Braylon Rule walked the pitch. Upstairs, her courtesy runner Carrera scored later on in the frame. 1 ball and no strike. That's small ball for you.
Yeah.
Well, she's showing bunt. I think that's just to distract Heidi Price, who has thrown 20 pitches to throw and on the steal, and that one's going to be late. Heidi Price has thrown 20 pitches in the strike zone, 19 out of the strike zone. 5-1 Brush. Nobody out, top of the second. And at third is Brooke Rule. Braylon awaits the pitch, and that's up and away. 3-0. Oh, Brush will be content with this. They can extend the lead. And again, they really need this game. Both teams are at 6-6 coming in. 3 balls and no strikes to Braylon. The offering, that's high. And it's a walk, second walk issued to the same hitter. And Grace Georgiou had a base hit her first time up. And with her being a senior, you know that she's not going to waste any plate appearance now.
Catcher, number 26.
She was very, very selective the first time. And no reason not to expect that she can't pound one right now. The pitch swung on, lined into left field for a base hit. Carrera to second. Scoring is Brooke Rule. 2 for 2 is Georgiou. Brush 6, Strasburg 1 in the second.
Buildings by Design. When it comes to experience, Buildings by Design is the best in the business. Quality, commitment, and experience makes Buildings by Design the only choice when it comes to your next project.
6-1. And the pitch squaring to bunt, and it's a strike on the inside corner to Nadalyn Poss. Grounded out her first time up. Oh, it's a beat digger party so far in Strasburg. And EJ says keep it going.
I sure do. I like the way this is looking.
Yep. The pitch swung on, lined, and just fouled down the first base side. Oh, that barely missed chalk. Yeah, it was called foul. It was called foul. Allie Schneider, the first base coach, thought it got chalk. But it
foul ball.
But it was called foul. I saw some fly up.
Yeah,
but it was close.
Yeah, I thought I saw some chalk fly up, but
no balls and 2 strikes. Here to Nadalyn Poss. Now you have to protect with nobody out here in the second, and the Beat Diggers up by 5 runs in Strasburg. The pitch, changeup, swung on and missed. She didn't see that out of the hand at all, and Poss strikes out. That's why. And I got to keep your hands back.
Played for the Beat Diggers. Second base, number 17, Riley Leake.
Here is Riley Lake, who had a 2-run double in the first inning. The offering, up and away. Oh, Carrera's caught off of second to dive back in. She took a little bit of a risk there, but was able to adjust. She's back in, diving into second. 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch swung on and fouled off the end of the bat. Right behind the plate, it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Lake. The Beat Diggers scored 4 runs in the first inning, 2 so far here in the second. And the offering swung on and driven into right center field. That ball is struck well towards the fence, and it's off the bottom of the fence. Carrera got a late jump, but now she's going to round third. She's going to try to score. She will score, and Lake has her second double in as many at-bats. This one plates 1, and Brush now leads 7-1. How about Riley Lake with the way she's really striking the ball?
Today, yeah. Doing a great job today.
Man, I mean, she had an injury last game, but I mean, they really needed her bat in the lineup, and she has delivered beautifully. Here's Tatalini, and I think we're going to have a new pitcher. Yep,
we sure.
Yeah, we're going to have a new pitcher here for Strasburg.
Western Engineering Consultants, engineering and consulting services for all your projects. Strong commitment to their clients' needs set them apart. Get your project started the right way with Western Engineering Consultants.
Rio Smith is the new pitcher. She was at second base, and ironically enough, the inning started with a fly ball that Smith probably should have caught in shallow, very shallow center field. I don't know if she lost it in the sun. I mean, I don't want to totally, put it on a lackadaisical effort or anything like that, but something happened. Oh, it looks like now Heidi Price is going to be at short. There are definitely some changes. See if we can get the number of the second baseman. No, yep, 21 is at short, so Price goes to short. I'm sure Autumn Stone, she's definitely not out of this game. She's the leadoff hitter. I'm not sure if Stone has gone to second or what they've done at third. Let's see, 23 is at third. Whoever
that is.
No, that's Caitlin Swallow. She's been there the whole time.
So who's
Autumn Stone is the one that we're looking for. Tatalini grounded to first, and Emily Stevens misplayed it. Yep. Autumn Stone is now at second.
At the plate for the Beat Diggers.
And the Beat Diggers have another crooked number on the board. 3 runs in this inning and not done. With 2 on and 1 out. Well, if they keep hitting like this, they could make this a 4 to 5 inning game instead of going 7 innings.
That'd be nice.
The right-hander Rio Smith comes home. That's up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, Braylon Rule has got to be saying to herself right now, this is my game.
Yeah.
She pitches well, Evan. They can't lose. They can't lose. 1 ball and no strikes because the bats are there today. The pitch, and that's low. 2 balls and no strikes to Tatalini. The Bee Diggers have 7 hits already. And Lake has 2 of those for doubles. The offering. That's right on the inside corner, strike 1. Ball 2, strike 1. Yeah, Tom Odell's teams make the state tournament every year. We don't want this year to be the exception. But they do have to win this week against definitely this game. They can't blow a 6-run lead. The offering swung on and grounded foul. She was way out in front of that pitch. Tatalini didn't time out the first at bat very well. She hit it very weakly to first with a 3/4 swing well out in front. But at least she hit it on the ground, which was solid for her. If she can time it out, she's got a really nice stroke. 2-2. Swung on and tapped foul. Again, you can tell she's a little bit off.
Yeah.
A lot of arms on that swing and not a lot of lower body. 2-2 to Tatalini. 3 across, 2 on, 1 out, top 2. And Brush is leading Strasburg, and Strasburg 7-1. Looking in is the right-hander Rio Smith. The pitch, and that's up and in. Took something off it. Ball almost got stuck on her fingers. 3-2. This is a critical pitch, more for Strasburg than even so for Brush. Alexis corrals in the on-deck circle. 3-2 pitch, and that's low. It's a walk. 3rd walk issued by a Strasburg pitcher. And the bases are loaded for Corral, who flew out to the left fielder Grayson Graff. And she's got to deliver right here with 1 out.
Left fielder number 3, Alexis Corral.
Odell's on deck, but she struck out her first time up, and I think Olivia, she wants to embrace the moment, but if Corral can drive in 1 or 2, it'll take some pressure off of her. Alexis Corral awaits the pitch. Here it is, and that is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. At third is Grace Georgiou's courtesy runner.
Keely Langford.
Keely Langford, Riley Lake at second, Carly Tatalini at first. 1-0 pitch. That's upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Can't close the book yet on the starter, Heidi Price. Lake at second and Langford at third, her responsibility. And that is a little bit low, 3-0, below the knees. Well, Corral's not swinging.
Nope.
Although I've seen some instances this year where players on both sides have swung at 3-0 pitches in competitive games, which I don't get. But I would think Corral's not swinging here on the 3-0. And she does not. It's down the middle. It's 3-1. All right. And Alexis, she's got power.
Yeah.
If she can get one here. But you want to swing at a strike because anything out of the strike zone will plate Brush's 8th run and 4th of this inning. And the 3-1. And that is a strike on the outside corner. Bell tie. Boy, that painted the corner nicely. It is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nowhere to put Alexis Corral. That Brush dug out with some chatter. 3-2 pitch. And that's low. In fact, it bounced in. Corral with an excellent plate appearance. She picks up the RBI and the bases loaded walk. Keely Langford scores for the 2nd time in the game. And Brush leads 8-1. It's a long inning. Here is Olivia Odell. She struck out swinging her first time up, and we might have a change here. Let's see what.
Oh, it's Harley Holdren.
Yep, I think Yep, you're right. You're right, but go ahead. Let's thank one of our sponsors responsible for this broadcast.
MCC is here to make your dreams come a reality for both traditional and non-traditional students. Check them out today at morgancc.edu. That's Morgan Community College.
That's the voice of Evan James. I'm John Beltran, and yeah, this is Harley Holdren. And Holdren's had a couple of big hits this year, even though she's had a limited number of plate appearances. That is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, Coach Odell is such a solid leader. He knows his teams.
Yeah.
And not every coach is identifiable with their players, but Coach Hodel certainly is. And the 1-0. And that is up and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Rio Smith. That's her 15th pitch of the inning, and she didn't start the inning. 8-1 Brush, and they're still not done with the bases loaded and 1 out in the top of the second. 2-0. Swung on and grounded right back to the pitcher. The throw to the plate is off the catcher's glove. Safe. She bobbled it, and scoring in sliding is Lake. And that will be an error on the throw. No RBI, and Brush now leads 9-1. Yeah, she just tried to throw it too quickly. That should have been an easy play at the plate. But the bases remain loaded here for Abreu, and Abreu doubled.
At the plate, number 9, Kylie Abreu.
She's the 10th hitter of the inning. That double, though, was a pop fly to begin the inning. And she swings and laces it foul down the third base side. No balls and 1 strike. Braylon Rule is going to hit next, unless the Beat Diggers hit into some sort of a double play. I'm saying that for the reverse psychology. Of course, I don't want that to happen. 0-1. Brush has exploded in the first inning and a half.
With 1 out.
With 1 out, they've still got plenty of life left in them. Abreu waits the 0-1, and that bounces in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here to Kylie Abreu. And the pitch. Swung on and driven deep to left field. That one is way back towards the fence, and it's off the bottom of the fence on 2 bounces. A run scores. Here comes Corral, and to third is Holdren. It's a 2-run double for Kylie Abreu, and the Beat Diggers are pouring it on in the second inning. They now lead 11-1 with 7 across in the frame.
Beat Diggers doing a great job this inning of just batting, and
well, they're executing.
That's for sure.
They are executing big time. Here is Brooke Rule, another dangerous hitter for the Beat Diggers. Abreu's got a couple of doubles, as does Riley Lake. And the question is, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. How about yourself, John?
I'm tremendous, man.
Yeah.
Are you kidding with the way Brush is playing?
Yeah,
how can I not be great?
And I mean, today's amazing. I mean,
yeah.
the
Thanks for asking,
nice.
though. Thanks
Top of the order for the Beat
I do
Diggers.
appreciate you asking. I
Shortstop,
mean,
number 11,
you probably asked because I asked. But that's okay. I don't mind that.
Got a little bit of a breeze going here. I mean,
yep.
But it just feels comfortable.
Brooke Rule is homered and singled. The offering up and away. And the count is at 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch. That's upstairs and inside. And it is 2-0. Let's see if this pitch is out over the plate. You know where she's going. The pitch. Oh, it's a strike. Two and one. Let's see if we can go a little bit live here. 2 balls and 1 strike. And a pitch. Swung on and tapped down the third base side. If it stays fair, it's trouble. It's going to hug the line for a base hit. It's going to hug the line, and the bases are loaded. All right, we've got a live look in here. We'll keep it here as long as we can. Nobody's going to score. Brooke Rule is now 3 for 3. Oh, they called it foul. Okay. They did call it foul. I thought it hugged the line.
That's what I thought too. But
all right, here we go to Brooke Rule. We are on Facebook Live here for the end of this half inning. The pitch, and that's up and away. In fact, I'll stand here, get a better view. The Beat Diggers, as you can see on the scoreboard, lead 11-1. And we're live on our 1010 KSIR Sports Facebook page. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And a pitch. Swung on and lifted into left center field. That one is way back towards the fence. Goodbye! A 3-run jack for Brooke Rule. Her second home run of the game. The Beat Diggers have plated 10 runs in the top of the second inning. and are stunning the Strasburg Indians 14-1.
Looking to get out of here early, John.
Oh, my God. I mean, listen, I know this Brush team is loaded with talent. I did not expect this. Nobody expected this. Not this incredible onslaught of hitting against a team that defeated Brush
16-5.
Yep, 3 weeks ago. And the Bead Diggers are putting on a clinic. A clinic here in Strasburg. Again, a 10-run second inning for the Bead Diggers. And we might have another pitcher. We'll sign off for now on Facebook Live. But as soon as we publish this, you can catch that 3-run homer from Brooke Rule. Again, on our 1010 KSIR Sports Facebook page. We'll be publishing that momentarily. Little bonus coverage here with our Facebook Live feed. And let's see, hopefully that'll publish here within a few minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, what a stunner here. What a stunner. Let's thank AC Ice.
Crystal clear ice, good for any drink and at any time of the year. You can pick up your AC Ice at any local grocery or convenience store in the Northeast.
Remember, if you're up by 15 runs after 3 innings,
you're out. You're out of here.
Or 12 after 4. Brush is up by 13.
The Indians at first base, number 28.
I mean, this is just incredible. Incredible. The line score reads like this. And Heidi Price is back to the mound. Rio Smith at second base.
Pitcher number 4, Braylon Rule.
And Price is back on the mound. Autumn Stone at short, so that's the way the inning began. But the line score, the Bead Diggers 14 runs on 9 hits. No errors. They've left 1 on base. Strasburg 1 run, 2 hits, 3 errors. And they have left 3 on base. And do you know to me what the critical juncture of the game was? Bases loaded, no outs, bottom of the first. Strasburg down 4-0. It's 3-0 to their cleanup hitter. And Braylon comes back. She induces an infield fly, strikes out the next hitter. They do score a run on an infield hit, but then she gets the next hitter out on a grounder to Poss at third. And since then, I think that momentum carried over to the offense, Evan.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with you there, John. I mean,
Braylon Rule at the plate for the Beat Diggers.
Braylon Rule has walked twice, and her courtesy runner has scored twice. But you know what? You know how Brush has to treat this game right now?
0-0.
You got it. This game is far from over if you have another mentality. Swung on and lifted down the third base side and caught by Swallow in foul territory as she was racing towards the Strasburg dugout, and there's 2 down. Braylon was out in front of that pitch, which is why she pulled it.
Number 26 at the plate.
And they finally get the second out.
Georgian.
Grace Georgiou will now hit. She has singled twice. Let's see if she can tack on an extra 3 bases with this one swing. The pitch. And check swing foul on the changeup. Had she known that was coming, she would have hit that about 150 some odd feet easily, or if not more. But she wasn't sure that was coming. I would say more like 200 feet, John, not 150. Yeah, 150 is not enough. And the 0-1 pitch swung on and fisted foul off to the right. Yeah, that ball was coming in on her. Those are 2 quality pitches thrown by Price, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. This is going to be a great recap to this inning. The best inning the Bead Diggers have had this year, offensively. And the offering swung on, laced for a base hit down the left field line. Georgiou has 3 at-bats, has 3 singles, and that was a changeup. The inning continues for Nadeline Poss. Poss is grounded out and struck out.
For Brush, third base, number 8, Nadeline Poss.
She wants to get involved in the hit party.
Yeah.
Keely Langford running at first for Grace Georgiou. Keely's already scored a couple of runs in her varsity debut. There's the pitch from Price, the right-hander. Swung on and lifted foul off to the right. No balls and 1 strike. I don't know how many pitches have been thrown in this inning, but as soon as it's over, we'll be able to recap that in its most accurate manner. And awaiting the 0-1 is the third baseman for Brush. Pause, here it is. And she takes it for a strike on the outer half. Thigh high, and it's 0-2. The Bee Diggers are putting together a clinic. The pitch swung on, fouled off to the right. A late protective swing. She fouled that off by about 75 feet. Not that I'm measuring. Count stays at 0-2. The inning began with a harmless fly ball, it appeared, hit by Kylie Abreu, who has 2 doubles in the inning. And it should have been played in shallow center by the second baseman Smith. It fell, and the Bee Diggers just kept going. 0-2 pitch. Swung on and fisted foul. That was way up and in, nowhere close to being a strike. But she took a defensive swing to stay alive. Remains at 0-2. Yeah, you don't want to get to the point that just because it's 0-2, you're going to swing at everything.
Yeah.
She wants to take a pitch if it's not there. She could have taken that one. No balls, 2 strikes. Pitch to Poss. Swung on and chopped slowly. First base side. It will be fielded there by Brewer. She's the new first baseman in. And she will apply the tag.
Heading into the bottom.
And that will do it for the Bee Diggers in the top of the second inning.
Score, Brush.
That,
14. Strasburg.
let's see, was a... How many pitches in that frame? That was crazy. Well, we'll get to that number when we come back. 10 runs for Brush on 7 hits. 2 Strasburg errors and 1 left. 1 1/2 innings have been played in Strasburg in this Patriot League Classic. At least we thought it would be a classic, but the Bee Diggers are leading the Indians 14-1 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. John Beltran back with Evan James. Let's head to the bottom of the second inning. The first pitch is a strike to Caitlin Swallow. She had a bases-clearing double in Brush. That one bounces in the 16-5 victory. But now the Bee Diggers lead 14-1. 4 runs in the first and 10 in the second. Brooke Rule has 2 homers in the game. And Braylon Rule delivers. Swung on and lifted down the left field line. Corral to her right is under it, makes the grab. And there's one down. Corral made that look smooth and easy.
That's what Braylon needs to really do here, is just let her defense work for her.
That's it. Throw strikes. That could not have been said any better. Here's Tara Gustafson, another right-handed hitter for Strasburg. And the offering. Down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, this is Braylon's game now. This is her game, without a doubt. And the offering. That is outside. 2-0, just 32 pitches thrown by Braylon Rule. 16 strikes, 16 balls. Feels like we've been here forever. This is only the bottom of the second, and that is up and in. She has not had total control, though. She's walked a batter, hit a batter. 3 balls and no strikes. Pitches a strike on the outside corner. Took something off it. 3-1, 1 down, bases empty, bottom 2. The Bee Diggers are up by 13 runs in Strasburg. Nobody saw this coming. The pitch, low. It's a walk. Straight up.
Top of the order for the Indians.
At 5 o'clock Mountain Time.
Number 24, Autumn Stone.
Here in Northeast Colorado. Almost straight up at 5. I'm John Beltran with Evan James. This is 1010 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan Snyder. Also on the TuneIn app. All part of the Eastern Plains Sports Network. And Braylon Rule comes home. And that's over but low. 1 ball and no strikes. To the hitter Autumn Stone, who doubled in the bottom of the first inning. Yeah, just go after these hitters. The offering, same location. Come on, Braylon, let's go. I mean, it's her game. It's her game. That's it.
Yeah.
But again, if she had struggles, I said the Bee Diggers could only win if they scored in double digits, and that pitch is not even close. Up and in. 3 balls, no strikes.
21st Century Equipment. All the John Deere equipment for your operation is at 21st Century Equipment in Sterling and Fort Morgan.
3-0 pitch. That's low. Here's Rio Smith, and she walked her first time up.
Rio Smith.
I mean, the only way Brush loses this game is if they beat, or not about lose, just let Strasburg back in as if they allow it to happen.
Yeah.
And this is one vehicle. Braylon's got to come back like she did in the first inning. And that pitch is on the inside corner. Gorgeous pitch. No balls and 1 strike. Because right now, again, showing signs of struggling here with 3 walks in the game. That is down and in. 1-1. The offense is there. The defense has been there so far. But the pitching's got to come through. The offering. That's a beautiful pitch on the outside corner at the knees. You always ask yourself, why can't she do that more often? She's probably asking herself, too. It's not like she's not trying to throw them there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Braylon looks in at the sign from Georgiou. And the offering. Swung on and grounded up the middle. The shortstop, Brooke Rule, cannot get it. Base hit. Tadolini at center. Throws towards the plate. Georgiou cannot apply the tag. And the runners advance. It's an RBI single. And 2 are in scoring position now for Strasburg.
At the plate,
As
Indians. Pitcher.
coming through was Rio Smith. It's 14-2. But again, that's all set up by 1-out walks. Heidi Price hit by a pitch first time up. That's going to happen. You can't set up these hitters to succeed. The offering. Swung on. That ball is grounded to third. And Poss has it go off her glove into foul territory. And that's going to score a run. It will be an RBI, but an error on the third baseman, Poss, who did not come up with that cleanly. It's now 14-3.
Getting to the Indians. That's the senior. Number 5, catcher Jody Archuleta.
Jody Archuleta popped to second. So the 2 hitters that she walked have both scored. Yeah, you know Strasburg is thinking, we're not going away. Not on our home field. A Braylon rule is the pitch up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. We have played over an hour. We're in the bottom of the second. And this will go 7 innings if Strasburg comes back.
Keep forgetting it's only a second.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's going to be a long one if the Bee Diggers don't get outs here. The offering. And that is up and away, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. I mean, she has fallen behind most hitters. Runners at first and third. Braylon delivers. She's just letting up on that one. She's not going all the way through. It's down and away. Now she aimed that one 3-0. And take a deep breath and let it fly. Aubrey Archuleta waits to hit next. 3 balls and no strikes. Pitch is down the middle. It's a strike. 3-1. When you see Braylon warm up, she's flawless.
Yeah, she's great.
But all of a sudden you get somebody in the box and we don't know what's going to happen.
Like we've been saying all year, it's that confidence factor.
Yeah, when she's good, she's really good. But right now, 3-1, and the offering swung on and grounded foul. I mean, look at the last 2 pitches she's made.
Yeah.
This batter is the story of her season. 3 pitches that were not really that close, and then 2 that were not just strikes, they were quality strikes.
Yeah.
She just wants to take the latter half of this sequence and make it more consistent.
It's kind of like getting your groove,
That's
getting
it.
your little niche.
But she has not found it in this game.
Yeah.
3-2. 1 out, 2 across, 2 on base. The pitch. Swung on and grounded. Off the third base bag, down the left field line. Corral comes up with it. A run scores. And now the ball gets away. And that's going to be a throwing error on Brush and 2 advance. The second and third. It's 14-4. Give Archuleta the RBI single. And again, there is an error out there. We'll just assign the error. I'm not sure. if that was on the throw by Corral, but it just got away in the infield.
Yeah.
And now we're going to have a pinch hitter. Nope, we won't. I thought we were going to have one. Nope, it'll be Archuleta.
For the Indians, that's freshman center fielder number 25, Aubrey Archuleta.
But now it's a 10-run game. It was at 13. But how did the rally start? A couple of walks, and now they've taken advantage with a base hit, an error, and another base hit.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no way the JV game's going to get in. No way. It gets dark a little bit after 7. I mean, Brush is going to have to win this in 3 or 4 in order to get the JV game in, and that pitch is down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. And I'll say this about this umpire. He's very consistent.
Yeah.
He's not calling the low pitch a strike. If it's low, it's low. He's not trying to shorten this game. He's very consistent. And the 1-0 pitch, and that's low again. Throw back to third, and the ball is off of Post, but back in diving is Heidi Price. 2 balls and no strikes. 5 consecutive have reached for Strasburg after the first batter, which flew to left. Still only 1 out. The Bee Diggers with a 10-run lead, but it is dwindling. The offering. That's a beautiful pitch. Belt high, strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Tom Odell trying to fire up his team and fire up his pitcher. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, just need an out. Even if they score a run, just need an out. The offering. Down and in. 3-1. Let's look at the numbers here for Bray Lynn. Yeah, 29 balls, 25 strikes. That's not going to work. Not going to work. 3-1 pitch. Swung on and fisted on the ground slowly to third. Pauls has it, throws on the run to first in time, and the runner's going to score, breaking to the plate. Throw back to second and safe to the trail runner. It is an RBI, but the Bee Diggers do pick up the out as Pauls retires Archuleta. It's now a 14-5 game. They needed that badly.
At the plate for the Indians, freshman fielder number 30.
Listen, this is why when Brush gets back up to the plate, they got to keep scoring.
Yeah, they got to keep going.
We said 0-0. And Grayson Graff had a base hit her first time up. Braylon Rule comes home. Gorgeous pitch down the middle, strike 1. That's what she needs, first time. I think one of the best games she pitched this year was at Eaton. Number 1 ranked team. She threw beautifully. 7-1 loss, but she was really consistent. Down and away.
That was great hitters, too. I mean,
phenomenal offense. She neutralized them. So, I mean, this is a good offense for Strasburg, but they're not in Eaton's category.
No, not
Lions is, but not them. 1-1 pitch. Oh, that got her right on the left hip. Well, for Braylon Rule so far, she has walked 3 batters and hit 2.
Back in the game. Hitting for the Indians.
And let's see if Emily Stevens.
Number 11, senior Emily Stevens.
Yep, Stevens will hit. Stevens grounded to third in the first. So she's back in the game. Madison Brewer came to first to play for her at the top of the second inning. Here we go. Get Stevens out. You've got a 9-run lead going into the third. The pitch. Swung on, grounded slowly off the end of the bat. The shortstop rule charges. Throws to first in time. And Strasburg is retired in the bottom half of inning number 2. However, they're trying to mount a rally. They do score 4 runs on 2 hits. The Bee Diggers got careless there, committing a couple of errors. And there were 2 base runners left. Let's head to the third inning. That's right. We played over an hour and 10 minutes. We're only going to the third. The Bee Diggers 14, the Strasburg Indians 5 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. John Beltran back with Evan James. Let's hit the top of the third inning in Strasburg. It's gotten a lot tougher now for the Bee Diggers. They were up 14-1. Strasburg scored 4 runs in the bottom of the second inning. And even though Brush has a 9-run lead, Emily Stevens is the new pitcher. She was the winning pitcher against Brush. And after early struggles, she shut out the Bee Diggers for 3 consecutive innings in Brush. So we're not going to see another 10-run inning. I'd be stunned.
Yeah.
And it's not because Brush isn't talented enough. It's because that just doesn't happen in softball, especially against a team like this, which is pretty talented. So Stevens is out there.
Leading off.
And Riley Lake is the leadoff hitter.
Base, number 17, Riley Lake.
She's got 2 doubles and 3 RBIs. Yeah, this just got a lot tougher for Brush because now you have a pitcher who knows this lineup, who threw well against this lineup. And you better believe, Evan, they think they can come back on the Bee Diggers. This is why the Bee Diggers, I think, need to score at least a run or two, just a run or two here. If they get shut down, then you start holding your breath for dear life that all of a sudden Strasburg can climb right back into it. Line and pitch. That bounces to the screen. And there's no doubt that Stevens has more velocity than the previous 2 pitchers. The question is, will she have better control? The other 2 pitchers had good control, but they were hitting the Bee Digger bats, and Brush was just smoking the ball. They have 10 hits in the game, Strasburg with 4. And the pitch upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, you got to start earlier on Stevens. I mean, she's tall. She's looking probably 5'10". Yeah, she is strong. Tall and strong. 2 balls and no strikes. And she extends very well towards the plate. And that is a strike. Belt high. Brought some heat there. Ball 2, strike 1. Lake has had 2 excellent swings and has resulted in a 2-run double and a run-scoring double. She's the leadoff hitter for Brush in the 3rd. The pitch, and that is low. 3-1. Brush looking to get at least half of those 4 runs back that Strasburg got in the inning. Right down the middle, strike 2. 3-2 to the senior second baseman, Riley Lake. Her average has climbed with those 2 base hits. She had 5 RBIs coming into the game, now has 8 runs batted in. The pitch, and that bounces to the screen, and Lake's going to walk. And now Lake is running to first because the ball was loose. In case that ball got away, it's a live ball. So she's on base for the 3rd consecutive time. But with the way Stevens throws, let me check out her first outing. Let's see the first outing back on September the 5th. Where Stevens in that game went 5 innings, 67 pitches, 50 were strikes. She was in control, struck out 3, did not walk a hitter, and hit 1 batter. So she's already walked more in 1 batter here than she did over 5 innings in Brush 3 weeks ago. Maybe that's a good sign for the Bee Diggers. Carly Tatalini has reached on an air and walked. The pitch, swing and a miss. Threw it right by her. Yeah, what I'm seeing with Carly there, she's swinging all arms.
Yeah.
It is all arms. There's nothing coming, at least in her first 2 at-bats, and that was the same thing with that pitch. Needs a little bit from the lower body, squaring to bunt, and she waved. Runner goes to second to throw the slide to tag, and Lake is out. She is out trying to steal as the tag was applied by Heidi Price on a perfect throw by Jody Archuleta. 1 out. And it's 0-2 as the pitch was high, but Lake, I checked that Tatalini, did not pull the bat back. 2-6 on the caught stealing. That's a big play that Strasburg needed defensively. After the leadoff walk, the offering outside, barely missed the corner. 1-2. 1 out and the base is empty in the 3rd. The Bee Diggers hold a 14-5 lead. They scored 4 runs in the first, 10 runs in the second. Brooke Rule has 2 homers in the game. The pitch swung on, pop foul and out of play off to the right and over the Digger dugout on the first base side. Yeah, again, but when I'm still seeing that, Evan. And maybe she's been doing that in previous at-bats and previous games, but I'm noticing it more now that we're this close. A lot of arms, and Not much else on that swing. The pitch swung on. That's popped up in the infield. The shortstop, Heidi Price, is going to make the two-handed grab. 2 down. Two down here in the third, and that'll bring up Alexis Corral, who has popped out and walked. And her walk drove in a run.
At the plate for the Beat Diggers, upfielder number 3, Alexis Corral.
Well, Braylon Rule's going to have to match this pitcher. She's about to throw her 4th consecutive scoreless inning against Brush. Swing and a miss, dating back to the earlier meeting. No balls and 1 strike. And Strasburg right now, you don't want to paint a dark picture, Evan, but let's face it, they have the momentum.
Yeah.
Even though the Bee Diggers have a 9-run cushion, but they've scored the last 4 runs of the game. There's 2 down and nobody on in this third. If Brush can generate something with 2 outs, that'd be huge. The pitch swung on, pop foul, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. To Alexis Corral officially, she is 0 for 1. And Strasburg wants to move this game along, too. They don't want to be here for 2.5 hours, but I think we had the university game that went that long, even though there was a weather delay in there back in August. The pitch swung on line, base hit into right field. Corral going the other way. The throw through to first, but she gets down that line quickly as Tara Gustafson came up with a softball, and it's the 11th hit of the game for Brush. Here's Olivia Odell,
at the plate,
who struck out her first time.
Fielder number 22, Olivia Odell.
And she's going to have a quick bat against this pitcher. The offering upstairs. Runner goes to second. The throw. Corral slides. Safe. Just ahead of the tag by Heidi Price. Another excellent throw by Archuleta. But Corral with a stolen base. Not easy to run on Archuleta. A runner in scoring position now. If you can get Abreu up there with all the success she's had this season and then in this game. 1 ball and no strikes in the offering. Swing and a miss on a pitch tailing on the inside corner. It is 1-1 to Olivia Odell. The Bee Diggers had a 4 spot in the first, as impressive as that was. 10 in the second. Made it a 14-1 game. The pitch swung on and grounded to short. Price has it, sets, throws, out. And the Bee Diggers are done here in the top of the 3rd inning. No runs for Brush. They're held off the board. 1 hit. No errors and 1 left.
For the Beat Diggers there.
We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning in Strasburg. The Bee Diggers 14. The Strasburg Indians 5 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 14-5, Brush leads Strasburg as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. And what a huge inning this is for the Bee Diggers, because all Strasburg wanted to do once they fell behind by 13 runs was chip away.
Senior third base,
They did that with 4 runs in the second. They want more here in the third after the Bee Diggers did not score in the top of the 3rd. Leadoff hitter here is Caitlin Swallow. She popped to left to begin the previous inning. Braylon Rule delivers. That's a strike down the middle. The second inning, which she allowed 4 runs, is not going to matter if she can pick up her game here in the third. It's not going to matter. But she's got to pick up her game. The pitch, down and away. And check this out, Kylie Abreu is the new catcher.
Georgiou's at third. Annalise Glosson at first.
Thank you for that update. Pitch is swung on and grounded. Foul down the third base side.
Just foul.
Well, I think they've got to save Georgiou because they've got a game tomorrow. And with Glosson, as you mentioned at first, I mean, it's already been a long game, and they're only in the third, so they're saving her knees. Abreu has called very little this season. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Let's see if we can get 3 up and 3 down. The pitch. Change up outside, 2-2. Now the Bee Diggers have had very few 3 up and 3 downs defensively, unless it's against the Platte Valley But against these quality teams, it's tough to pitch. Low, 3-2. Nice frame there by Abreu, but it was below the knees. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 6. Check it. 8, 9, and 1. Not 6, 7, and 8. 8, 9, and 1 in this lineup for Strasburg in the bottom of the third. The offering inside. Tom Odell wanted a strike. That was not a strike. And it was a ball. Yeah, there's no doubt. We have a great angle here right behind the plate.
At the plate.
And there was no way that was going to be called a strike.
That's a junior right fielder, number 3, Tara Gustafson.
And the issues continue for Braylon Rule. That's her 4th walk, and she's hit 2 batters. Gustafson walked in her previous plate appearance. The pitch, squaring to bunt, lays it down. It'll be fielded by the third baseman, Georgiou. Throw to first, and that'll be in time. That's a great play by Georgiou. The sacrifice goes 5-3. But what an excellent play of Grace coming in. That was not easy at all.
And she knew. I mean, Grace, with all her knowledge,
Autumn Stone.
she knew.
Well, because the ball died.
Yeah.
She had to get there. Autumn Stone has doubled and walked. That's the way to help your pitcher. Autumn Stone at 1-for-1. The offering. That is outside and low. 1 ball and no strikes.
Mr. D's Ace Home Center is a proud supporter of all our area athletes. They are here to serve you with all your home, farm, and ranch supplies with 3 locations to serve you. Brush, Fort Morgan, and Sterling.
Nice scoop there by Abreu. It's 2-0. 37 balls and 31 strikes for Braylon Rule, but she's got a 9-run lead. And when she's pitching that inconsistently, you need all that offense. That is outside. It was high enough, but it wasn't over the plate. 3-0. 3 balls and no strikes to Autumn Stone. You do have a base open. You have 2 bases open. The pitch. That's on the outside corner. It's 3-1. The Bay Diggers have a 2-run double and an RBI double from Riley Lake. Kylie Abreu's got 2 doubles, and Brooke Rule's been the hitting star. 2 home runs, including a 3-run shot, and that's a strike. Gorgeous pitch up in the zone. That hit the top of the strike zone, 3-2. Let her high. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Come on, Braylon, right here. There's big pitch coming up. Got to find the strike zone here. 3-2. Swung on and fisted foul. Oh, don't touch it.
I'm
Out of
tempted.
play.
I was really tempted.
Yeah, I know, but we're not allowed to. Very strict. Very strict. Everybody's had their temperature taken out here.
Got questions asked.
Yeah. Make sure you haven't been hanging around sick people. It's different. We're much closer to Denver. 3-2 pitch. Outside. That's a walk. It did miss. Braylon has walked 2 for the 2nd straight inning.
At the plate for the Indians. That's number 8, sophomore Rio Smith.
Rio Smith has walked and singled. And just 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Bay Diggers 14, the Strasburg Indians 5. The pitch. A strike on the outside corner. Well, that almost looked the same as the previous pitch.
Yeah.
It really did. And the previous pitch, I thought the previous pitch was a ball. I thought that was a ball. Based on the previous call. But she's ahead 0-1. Pitch to Smith. Swung on, line towards right center field. That is all types of trouble. That will drop. That continues to roll. 1 run is going to score. 2nd runner around 3rd. Throw to the plate is going to be late. And into 3rd on that throw. It's going to be a 2-run double for Rio Smith. Brush 14, Strasburg 7.
At the plate for the Indians. That's number 21, sophomore.
There's Heidi Price. I mean, I can't say this enough. This is Braylon's game.
Yeah.
I can't say it enough. I mean, she's responsible for some of this because of the walks. And she knows it. She's competing. And she's got to get through this. She has to get through this. Heidi Price has been hit by a pitch and reached on an air. Swung on. That ball is grounded for a base hit. And to left center field beyond the diving Brooke Rule. Scoring is Smith. It's an RBI for Heidi Price. It is now 14-8 in favor of Brush.
Number 5, senior Jody. Joji?
Jody Archuleta's popped out and singled.
Archuleta and Jody is Joji. Come on, Joji, get a hit.
Well, apparently we have a PA announcer with a lot of personality.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Nice change.
The pitch. A strike. Well, we have great PA. Of course, you've done it before many times in Brush. Paul Acosta's the dean over there.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he taught me everything I know about PA.
No balls and 1 strike. And Strasburg has 3 across in the frame. The pitch way outside. 1-1. Yeah, you start to wonder, is there going to be enough daylight with the way this game is going? Because right now it is 5. It's almost 5:30 Mountain Time. We're not even halfway through what would be a 7-inning game. The pitch. That bounces in and bounces to the screen. Three and 0. And I don't know if Coach Odell has another option here. I mean, Macy Unrein's pitched this year. She's the number 2 pitcher. But I know he wants Braylon to get out of this. The offering swung on and lined off the glove of Rule into left center field for a base hit. Advancing to third is Price. That'll send up Aubrey Archuleta as Jody Archuleta picks up the hit. 7th hit of the game for Strasburg.
Courtesy runner in at first base. That's Liberty Hacker. At the plate.
There we go.
Center fielder.
Aubrey is struck out and grounded out.
Aubrey Archuleta. Archie.
Wow. You just hold your breath now. You just hold your breath.
Hope for the best.
14-1 has become 14-8, and runners at first and third and 1 out. The pitch up and in off the glove of Abreu, but it would have been a steal. Oh, was she hit? I don't know if she was hit. She said it got her in the hand. But then why did she sell it? She didn't sell that very well. She did not sell that she was hit. She stayed in the box. 1 ball and no strikes. But the second on the steal is Archuleta. Braylon Rule ready. And the pitch. That's a strike on the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brush was cruising up 14-1 going into the bottom of the second. Aspirations of a short game, but it's not going to happen. And that one's off the catcher's glove, but no advance by either runner. 2-1. I don't think she's going to throw to another batter if she doesn't get this one out. I think if Braylon does not retire this hitter, that's going to be it. I just don't see how she can stay out there. She's lacking confidence right now. She's given up a couple of hits here, but again, walks have been an issue, and that swung on and fouled back. She's battling. I mean, you want her to finish out this inning and this game, but it's going to take about 150, 160 pitches to do it.
Yeah.
She's got 84, and there's still 1 out in the third. She's only retired 7 hitters in the entire game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a changeup. 2 down. There you go. There you go, Braylon. What a pitch.
At the plate for the Indians, left fielder, number 30.
Here is Grayson Graff. Singled and hit by a pitch. For Braylon Rule, that's her second strikeout. And the offering way outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Okay, you get this hitter out, you're still up by 6. It's not a super comfortable lead, but it's better than a 4-run lead if they happen to get a base hit. It's way outside again, 2-0. Two balls and no strikes, so she did retire that hitter, but she's got to get 1 more. And the offering. High. 3-0. All three pitches have been way, way off the zone. Two were outside and one was at about helmet level. 3 balls, no strikes, the offering. And that is upstairs. It's a walk. A walk to Gracie Graff.
Number 11, Emily Stevens.
Now, Emily Stevens has grounded to short and to third.
Otherwise known as E-Step.
So you know that she can pull the ball.
Just go with it.
She has pulled the ball. And she will step in. And she's got home run power. The pitch. Way outside. Third walk of the inning by Braylon Rule. The bases are full of Strasburg Indians. They left them loaded in the first. 1-0 pitch. Up and away. 2-0. 2 balls. You got to come in with a strike. I think Stevens going to be swinging if this one's in the strike zone. 2-0. She swings and drills it in the air to center field. To her right is Tatalini. She makes the catch. Oh, boy, it was hit in the gap, but Tatalini was right there. And the Beat Diggers positioned Emily Stevens perfectly. And that inning is over, but a mighty struggle for Braylon Rule once again.
3 innings complete.
3 runs on 3 hits. No errors. There were 3 walks in the inning. And the bases were left loaded. We head to the 4th inning with the score. The Beat Diggers 14, the Strasburg Indians 8 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Beat Diggers lead the Strasburg Indians 14-8 as we go to the 4th inning. Hopefully this game will end tonight.
The top of the 4th.
Wow.
The Beat Diggers. Number 9.
Plenty of sun out there.
Abreu.
Yeah.
All right, now you got to come within 2 degrees of the temperature. Pitch to Abreu. Swing and a miss on a ball up in the zone. 0-1.
76.
It remains at 79, believe it or not. It has not moved.
Really?
Yeah. No, I'm not lying to you.
Feels cooler.
Abreu's doubled twice. And the offering. Swing and a miss again. On the outside corner, it's 0-2. Yeah, I was curious why Stevens didn't start against Brush because she pitched so well the first time. The offering. Swung on grounded foul, third base side. She's trying to rescue Strasburg from a 13-run deficit. Braylon Rule did make some quality pitches to the last 2 hitters, but she's got to do it to 3 in a row. Because the Beat Diggers, even though they lead by 6, they've been on the field a long time in every inning.
Yep.
All 3 innings, they've been on the field a long time. The offering, that is just outside. Barely missed the corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Emily Stevens thought she had strike 3. 1-2 to the leadoff hitter in this 4th inning, Kylie Abreu, with a couple of 2-baggers so far in the game. The offering, that is a called strike 3. Down the middle, belt high, 1 out. Well, let's see what she can do
Top of the
against
order for the Beat Diggers.
Brooke Rule.
Number 11, Brooke Rule.
A home run to begin the game, a single, and a 3-run shot. The pitch, strike, right down the middle of the plate. No balls and 1 strike. To Brooke Rule. Heidi Price started the game, and then it was Rio Smith and Price again. Swung on and grounded to third. A big hop, then it's bobbled out there. Throw to first is late. That'll be an error on Swallow. Even with Brooke Rule's speed, you retire her if you feel that cleanly. And the Indians have committed, I believe that's their 3rd error. No, it's their 4th error. They've
Hitting for the Beat Diggers. Pitcher number 4, Braylon
had
Rule.
3 earlier errors. Braylon Rule has walked twice and popped out to the third baseman Swallow. You got to be stealing here if you're Brooke. The pitch. She takes off, but it's foul to the screen. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, you've got to scratch or run across. You haven't scored in the last inning plus. You don't want to make it 2 consecutive innings.
Want to start building that momentum back up.
Right, well, especially with this part of the order. You got Braylon up. She's having a great season offensively. Georgiou on deck to pitch. Up and away. Runner goes to second to throw the slide, the tag. She's going to be safe. She slid around it, and the ball got loose anyway. Oh, man. I don't know if there's too many who could steal that bag. I think virtually every other beat digger gets thrown out.
Yeah.
If the ball is kept right there. But Brooke is so fast. So fast. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, 1 on. 14-8 Brush, top of the 4th inning in Strasburg. Braylon Rule awaits the pitch, and she swings and grounds it left side. That's a base hit into left field, and Brooke Rule's going to be held at third. The throw's going to go all the way through. Braylon to second. That's a mistake out there on the throw from the left fielder, Grayson Graff. It's not an error. Aaliyah Carrera will be the courtesy runner. Braylon's been on base 3 times.
At the plate for the beat diggers.
Well, here's Georgiou.
So it's danger.
Excuse me, number 26, Grace.
You don't pitch to her.
No.
You don't. I mean, I think you got Annalise Glosson. She has not had an at bat. You should not pitch to her, but the beat diggers want them to pitch to her. The offering swung on, drilled foul off to the right. I'm stunned by this. Again, you do not allow the opposing team's best player to beat you. And Georgiou, she's too good.
Yeah. She's way too good.
I mean, it's not a disrespect to Annalise, but Georgiou's the best hitter on the team.
Yeah.
And they're pitching to her with 1 out and second and third. A base is open. The offering. And she takes a strike on the outside corner at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes. Even if you retire her without a run scoring, I still think it's not a smart move. That's just my opinion. And the pitch way outside. At third is Brooke Rule. At second, Aaliyah Carrera. Strasburg has scored the last 7 runs of the game, but they still trail by 6, 14-1. The pitch. And a check swing foul. I think that ball was going to hit her. I think the ball kind of did hit her.
Yeah.
But she swung, and she got a piece of it with her bat. Keep in mind, if she would have swung and the bat had made no contact and it hit her, it would have been a strikeout. I think Stevens wants to go back inside, or she might throw a change up the pitch. Foul to the backstop. That was up in the zone. Georgiou is swinging at anything close. Count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Taking a nice deep breath is Georgiou. Nice deep breath. She knows how important those 2 runners are on base. Awaiting the pitch from Emily Stevens. Here it is. Swung on and grounded foul up the third base side. And they're trying to jam her so badly, and that was another jam job. But hanging in there is Georgiou. She wants a pitch out over the plate that she can drive to right center. It'll be another 1-2 pitch. Here it is. Way outside. Yeah, that's not even close. You can try to frame that 100 times out of 100, and it's going to be called a ball.
Yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. The Bee Diggers up by 6 in the 4th inning. And the pitch. Swung on, popped up, foul territory. The catcher, Archuleta, first base side, drops the ball. That'll be an error, and it keeps the at-bat alive for Georgiou, who carried the bat down the first base line. Had she had her glove face up, had she had it face up in a basket position, she makes that catch. But she had it the other way, and the first baseman was also over there in Autumn Stone. That's a big, big error. The pitch. Swung on. Goodbye. Deep to left center field. It's a 3-run blast over all of the automobiles.
Holy cow.
The second 3-run homer of the game by a Bee Digger. And it is now 17-8. Don't give Georgiou a second chance.
Don't even pitch to her in that case.
I mean, they nearly got away with it. They, like I said, even if that ball is caught by Archuleta,
yeah,
I don't think it's the right decision. But then again, I would say that even if it was on the Brush side.
Yeah.
Because, again, in softball and in baseball, when you have a chance, you don't let the opposing team's best player beat you.
Exactly.
And that time, Georgiou
beat him.
Got 3 of the runs back. And that ball, there was no doubt. That wasn't one of those, there's a fly ball and there's a chance it'll stay in.
That thing was gone.
Oh, she cleared that by at least 30 feet. That thing was smoked. Here's Annalise Glosson hitting for the first time in the game, and the bases are now empty with one out in the fourth inning.
Number 23, Annalise Glosson.
And Brush up 17-8, and that error opened the door. The pitch swung on and grounded right to the shortstop. The throw to first by Price is low, but in time, Stone kept her foot on the bag and 2 down. And that'll send up Riley Lake. She did a nice job putting that ball on the ground, but solid defense out there by Strasburg. Lake has doubled twice and walked. She's been on base 3 times. The pitch way outside. 1 ball and no strikes. The game is still in the hands of Braylon Rule. That was the case at 14-1. That was the case at 14-8. Still the case at 17-8, but she cannot be walking hitters. Her ball-to-strike ratio today is very, very unfavorable, and that's putting it mildly. The pitch swung on and fouled to the backstop. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Premier Farm Credit understands production ag and has been serving our rural communities for over 100 years with locations in Sterling, Fort Morgan, Yuma, and Holyoke.
Stevens has thrown 28 strikes and only 11 balls. The pitch, and that one bounces to the catcher, Archuleta. 2 balls and 1 strike. Riley Lake has driven in 3 runs in the game. For Georgiou, that is her 3rd home run on the road. Pitch is swung on, fisted in the air, and it's caught down the third base side by the pitcher, Stevens. Didn't have much trajectory. She was the only one who could make the play. But the Bee Diggers in this inning are able to pick up.
It's early. We're only to the bottom of the 4th inning.
3 runs. It was a 3-run homer by Grace Georgiou. They had 2 hits. There was a crucial error, and the bases were left empty. We have played just 3.5 innings in Strasburg. We'll head to the 4th, and we will do that in 1 minute with the score. The Bee Diggers 17, the Strasburg Indians 8 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The first pitch is a ball in the bottom of the 4th inning thrown by Braylon Rule. Here to Caitlin Swallow. She was the leadoff hitter in the last inning when Strasburg scored a few runs, and that pitch is over the plate for a strike at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Swallow has popped to left and walked. She is 0 for 1. Brush leads Strasburg 17-8 in the bottom of the 4th inning. The pitch right there. Man, come on, Braylon, if she can keep that going. Again, the first 3 innings are not going to matter if she finally finds her groove. Has given up 7 hits, 6 walks, and has hit 2 batters. That's been the problem. That's essentially 8 free passes. The offering swung on and grounded to short, and it goes right underneath the glove of Brooke Rule into left field. That'll be an error, the 3rd by the Bee Diggers on a routine grounder. And it's committed by Rule. Got to help your pitcher out. Here's Tara Gustafson. She's 0 for 1, a walk and a sac bunt.
Junior, number 3, Tara Gustafson.
And I think Rule rushed it, lifted her glove, and quite frankly, Swallow does not have a lot of foot speed. The pitch outside to the number 9 hitter. 1 ball and no strikes. We'll pick up the Yankees and Indians in progress at some point. That could be probably by the 5th or 6th inning. The pitch. That's low. 2-0. See, it can happen the other way, too. When they don't play defense behind you, it affects the pitcher.
Yeah.
So Braylon's got to fight through that right now after the error to lead off the bottom of the 4th. 1-0. That's right there for a strike. She elevated that pitch just a little bit, and it got the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike. To the number 9 hitter, Tara Gustafson, with a runner at first. And the offering, and bunts it down the first base side, foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 17 runs, 13 hits, 3 errors. 3 left on base for Brush. 8 runs, 7 hits, 5 errors and 8 left on base for Strasburg. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Gustafson. The offering. Oh, boy, that was a little bit low. That barely missed. I mean, I think that missed by a smidgen. But again,
a tiny bit.
He's been so consistent on that pitch. It was a ball, but very close. 3-2. Swung on and fisted in the air. First base side, Abreu dives and can't make the play. Remains at 3-2. And again, she's used to being at first base. I think if George Yu's there, she makes the catch.
Yeah.
And it's only because of the experience that George Yu has. Kylie didn't spot it until much later, never flipped off the mask. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Gustafson again. Another payoff pitch. Swung on, popped up. Tatalini in left center field. Squeezes it for the out. Back to first is Swallow. Nice job by Braylon. 1 down. Autumn Stone has been a problem for Brush. He's doubled and walked twice. What you also want is to get 2 consecutive batters out. Just 2 in a row. If you get 2 in a row out, that would help. The pitch. Outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Autumn Stone. With a runner at first and 1 down in the bottom of the 4th inning. The offering, that is right there. Belt high down the middle. I don't think she wants to throw that pitch again. It was very hittable, but Stones took it.
Yeah.
I think she wants to spot it a little bit better. 1-1. Braylon Rule. This is pitch number 106 coming up for her. Here it is. Outside. 55 balls, 51 strikes. Two balls and 1 strike. She comes home. Swung on, fouled off to the right. Keep in mind that Brush has the lead, but they have not scored in every inning. 4 runs in the first, 10 in the second, none in the third, 3 in the fourth. Strasburg, a run in the first, 4 in the second, 3 in the third. None so far here in the fourth. The Bee Diggers would like to keep it that way. The pitch bounces in. Nice stop there by Abreu. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And if Brush can somehow hold them to a 0, they have enough offense, they can make this a 5-inning game, but you cannot let this team score. 3-2. The pitch. Swung on, lined, base hit off of Lake's glove into right field. Nice diving attempt by the second baseman. Autumn Stone is now 2 for 2 and on base for the 4th time in the game. Rio Smith has walked, singled, and doubled.
At the plate for the Indians. That's number 8, Rio Smith.
Yeah, she's been a headache. She's driven in 3. This is the spot for her. She's hitting in the perfect spot for her. Braylon Rule ready. And the offering. Whew. Barely missed on the inside. 1-0. I mean, barely missed. That looked really good. 1 ball and no strikes. The pitch. Swung on and fouled into the catcher's glove. 1-1. Be nice to get a line drive double play here. Hit it hard at somebody and then get out of this inning and go to the 5th. Just hit it really hard at somebody to get a double play. The pitch. Swung on and lifted a shallow center field. Tatalini coming on. Makes the catch. And there's 2 down. Actually in the right center field gap as she ran to her left. Tatalini's done a nice job of covering ground out there.
Indians, number 21.
Okay, 1 more out
Price.
to keep this at a 9-run game. Heidi Price has been on base all 3 times. Hit by a pitch, reached on an air and singled. And the pitch. Swung on and grounded a short. Brooke Rule's got it. Sets, throws to first. Inning over. And the Bee Diggers, for the first time, keep Strasburg off the board. No runs on 1 hit. 1 error and 2 left. Let's head to the 5th inning as the Bead Diggers try to extend a 9-run lead. It's Brush 17, Strasburg 8 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Along with Evan James, I'm John Beltran. Evan, how you doing?
I'm doing great, John. I mean, great day out here, and how you doing?
I'm doing better because the Bead Diggers have stretched out the lead. It was at 13 at one point. It was down to 6. Now it's up to 9, 17-8. As we go to the 5th inning, there is a possibility if the Bead Diggers can somehow generate some offense here like they did in the 4th inning.
That's number 6, Carly Tagliani.
That they could win this in abbreviated fashion. They'll have to do it with the middle to bottom of the order. Carly Tagliani has raced on an air, walked and popped out. She's 0 for 2. And the pitch. Swung on line, base hit into right field. And that time she took a nice smooth swing. Used a little bit more of her lower body. She's got such a smooth swing that sometimes it appears it's all arms, but that's what I thought in the first couple of at-bats. That time, I think because that pitch was lower, it allowed her to use that right knee to step into it more. Nice swing by Tagliani. That's her first hit of the game. The pitch, and that is taken upstairs to Alexis Corral, who's popped out, walked, and singled. Officially 1 for 2. Tagliani's got speed at first base. The pitch, swung on and fouled to the backstop. Count remains at 1-1. Mobile banking on the go makes banking easier for you when you're on the go. Equitable Savings and Loan. Check them out today or any day. Not just today. And it's after hours, but they're online like many businesses. Squaring to bunt. Beautiful bunt out in front of the plate. Fielded by the pitcher. Throw to first late. Nice job, Corral, as Stevens had to take a few steps in. And there was no play there for Jody Archuleta. Emily Stevens had to barehand it, but it was too late. It's a base hit. The second of the game here for Corral.
Hitting for Brush, right fielder number 22, Olivia Odell.
And for the Bead Diggers, they have got 15 hits in a game. Odell has struck out and grounded out. 0 for 2 the pitch. Swung on and lifted foul off to the right. Nice swing by Odell, but just late. No balls and 1 strike. Even if the next 2 get out, you've got Brooke Rule coming up. So there's a really good shot you can score here. All right, trivia question. How many home runs has Brush hit in this game? How many total?
3.
They have. You're right. Squaring to bunt. And that one skips, and it hits Odell on the foot. It skips right into her foot, and the bases are loaded. Wow, now you've got a huge opportunity. A home run to begin the game by Brooke Rule, a 3-run shot, and then George Yu hit a 3-run shot in the 4th inning.
Kylie Abreu.
Well, Braylon's game now belongs to the offense because if they can score 3 or 4 runs, that'll take the pressure off when she takes the mound in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pitch to Abreu, and she takes it low. 1 ball and no strikes. Abreu has doubled twice, struck out. She's driven in 2. That was on her first double. Check it, her second. And the 1-0 pitch. She swings and drills it. Foul. Home run distance, but way foul down the left side. 1-1. I love the approach this inning. Nice, easy swing by Tagliani for a base hit. Small ball with a bunt by Corral, base hit. And then the hit batter by Odell. But she had a good swing on that first pitch to her in that sequence. The pitch, and that one bounces in and bounces away. Throw back to third, and that might be off the back of the runner. But Tagliani's okay. I know it made contact with her. It's 2-1. And by the way, Tagliani's played a splendid center field today.
Oh, yeah.
She's played really well in center. 2 balls and 1 strike to Abreu. The pitch upstairs and outside, 3-1. Will she swing at this pitch? The only thing you don't want to do is hit it on the ground back to the pitcher. That could start a 1-2. Anything else, even if it's a pop-up, you don't want 2 outs on 1 swing. 3-1, and that is up, and it's a strike. Oh, it must have grabbed the outside corner. Oh, what'd you think?
I thought that was a ball.
That's ball 4. Yeah, I think that's a blown call. I agree, but he's been a very good, consistent umpire, but that should have been ball 4. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Late on that heater, and there's one down. Now that pitch was a strike, but not the one before that. Here is Brooke Rule. 3 for 4. A home run, a single, a 3-run homer, and then she reached on an air. She's been on base all 4 times. How about a base hit to extend the 9-run lead? 17-8 Brush over Strasburg in Strasburg, top of the 5th inning. Pitch by Stevens. Swung on and fouled right into the catcher's glove. This would turn the game for Strasburg in their favor if the Beat Diggers don't score. Just make contact on the ground or something in the outfield. No balls and 1 strike. The pitch. That is outside. No swing there. No, there's no swing. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, I mean, just because she moved her bat a little bit, but that was not close to being a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Brooke Rule. Stevens trying to get out of this jam for Strasburg. The pitch. Outside corner, strike 2. I would say that's the extreme outside corner. Well, now Brooks got to swing anything close, and Stevens likes to come in on these hitters. The bases were loaded with nobody out. Now the bases are loaded with 1 out. 1-2. Swing and a miss and a pitch up and away.
2 down.
2 down. Wow. Here's Braylon Rule, who's walked twice, popped out and singled.
Braylon Rule.
Anything can happen in this game. I never thought I'd see this. You got 2 excellent hitters strike out with the bases loaded. Pitch to Braylon, way outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Boy, George Yu is on deck. If you can get her up there,
We'll be okay.
you don't want her leading off the 6th inning.
No.
You want her up right here, right after Braylon. I mean, if she can hit her or do something, or Braylon can deliver. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, lined, and caught by the shortstop Price on the soft liner. The Beat Diggers had bases loaded, nobody out, and do not score in the inning. That hurts. To the bottom of the 5th we go in 1 minute. Brush is still holding on to a nice 9-run lead. Brush 17, Strasburg 8 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We got plenty of softball remaining. I'm John Beltran with Evan James. Only in the bottom of the 5th inning, the Beat Diggers had a chance to go up by 10 or 11 or 12 runs,
Bottom of the 5th inning.
but did not score with the bases loaded and nobody out. Abreu struck out, Brooke Rule struck out, Braylon Rule lined out. So here we go for Strasburg. And they've got the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Pitch is a strike to Jody Archuleta. She's popped out and singled twice. Braylon Rule, for the first time in the game, did not allow a run in the 4th inning. Again, it's back to being her game. The Beat Diggers led by 13 runs after an inning and a half. It was down to 6 at one point. Outside, 1-1. 115 pitches have been thrown. 58 for balls, 57 for strikes. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and chopped to short. Rule has got it. Throws to first for the out. Nice play on that little short hop to the shortstop, Brooke Rule. 1 down in the bottom of the 5th inning for Aubrey Archuleta.
Hitting for the Indians. That's number 25. Center fielder, Aubrey Archuleta.
If Braylon pitched to Archuleta, or to everybody else the way she pitched to Archuleta, she'd be out of here.
Yeah.
She struck her out twice. It's her only 2 strikeouts. She's also grounded out. And this is the number 5 hitter in the lineup. The offering. Up and away, 1 ball and no strikes. I mean, a ton of success against this hitter. The Beat Diggers have not put together a 1-2-3 inning. Well, neither team has. The pitch. Strike down the middle at the knees. 1-1. Brush has not trailed in this game. Had a 4 spot in the first and 10 in the second. But have only scored 3 runs since then. 1-1. Swing and a foul to the backstop. Ball 1, strike 2. maybe that softball is working there for Braylon. When you've got that good feel,
Yeah.
you don't want to switch softballs.
No.
Especially with the battles that she's had on the hill with a myriad of walks. 7 walks and 2 hit batters. The pitch, way outside. That one skips to the backstop. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is 1010 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan, Snyder, and KSIR.com, also on the TuneIn app. And the pitch swung on and fouled off the end of the bat, first base side, on pitch number 120. 60 for strikes.
59.
60 for balls.
Oh, come on.
Oh, it's 120.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm not going to test Evan in his math, just temperatures.
Yeah, I'm bad at math.
The pitch swung on and grounded to third. Big hop for Grace Georgiou. Low throw, but it's dug out of the ground there by Annalise Glosson. 2 down.
2 down.
Well, you got to love the left side of the infield.
Yeah.
That's a freshman left fielder number
And
30.
Georgiou is
Gracie
very
Graf.
sure-handed at third, as is Post. But Post did have an error earlier in this game. Rule had an error earlier in this game. But they're still sure-handed. Grayson Graff singled, hit by a pitch, and walked. 1 for 1. That is a strike. Belt high, outer half. This could be the first 1-2-3 half inning by either side if Braylon Rule retires this hitter in the bottom of the 5th inning. The pitch, extremely high and over the head of the catcher. Abreu, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Stubbs Gas and Oil. Fill up your cooler and gas up your car at Stubbs Gas and Oil. Easy and convenient, which makes them the only stop you need on your way to the big game.
The pitch, swung on and fouled straight back. Well, we can say this about Braylon Rule. She had thrown a lot more balls and strikes, and now she's catching up on the strike the side of things. But it's still not a good ratio, but she's at least been more consistent. Low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Going mainly with heat, hasn't taken off on much of her pitches, taking some velocity off. 2-2 here. 2 outs and the base is empty. Swung on and grounded right side off the glove of Lake for a base hit into center field. Nothing she could do there. She lunged but could not make the play. It's a 2-out single by Grayson Graff, who is now 2 for 2.
Hitting for the Indians, senior.
Emily
Pitcher number 11,
Stevens.
Emily Stevens.
She's due. She grounded out twice, and then with the bases loaded, she flew out to the center fielder, Tatalini. The pitch, way outside. Nice stab there by Abreu. 1 ball and no strikes. Thing is, if Brush advances to the state tournament, if they finish in the top 16, they're going to need, consistent pitching and defense. The offering. Swung on, grounded slowly right side. Lake to her left has got it. Short toss to first. And that's it for Strasburg in the bottom of the 5th inning. No runs for Strasburg on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left.
All right, we're hitting in the top of the 6th inning.
Well, the game is starting to move along a little bit quicker. The Bay Diggers have a 9-run lead. It's Brush 17, Strasburg 8 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Grace Georgiou has had a monster game as she leads off. And the top of the 6th inning, Brush leads Strasburg 17-8. 3 singles and a 3-run homer. And Evan, what about the job Braylon Rule has done the last 2 innings?
Those last 2 innings were phenomenal. I mean,
boy, if she can just
she
harness
had that whole game.
Yeah,
It'd be
exactly. Yeah, that we'd be out of here.
It'd
but
be over.
You know, again, I mean, she's putting together a solid effort when it counts now. Georgiou at 4 for 4. Pitch from Stevens, and she takes it a little bit high. I thought that was there. 1 ball and no strikes. Yankees and Indians in progress to follow. Radio only. And the 1-0 pitch Swung on and drilled about a million feet foul, and that would have been a home run again. Wow, what power. Down the left side. 1 ball and 1 strike. Oh, what a swing. Again, the last few games prior to this one, there were some struggles with just swinging at pitches that were able to get her out. Not in this game. She had 1 pitch that she should have been out on. The offering. Swung on and lined into right field for a base hit. That ball will roll towards the fence. Georgiou's around first, and the throw into second. She slides in safely. It's a leadoff double. Georgiou is 5 for 5. Can Brush capitalize, though? They have the bases loaded and nobody out. And let's see, the courtesy runner, you got to report first.
No courtesy runner for third baseman.
Nope. Nope. Yeah, she's not catching. Yeah, Keely Langford was getting ready to courtesy run, which she's done earlier when she was a catcher. But now let's see.
She's going to go.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, now Langford's going to come back out. And Keeley's got a lot of foot speed. So she'll be out at second with nobody out. Langford's already scored a couple of times in a game.
Subbing in to run at second. Number 24, Keely Langford.
Annalise Glosson grounded to short her first time up. And it would be nice right now if you can retire this hitter. If you can score the run and then retire the hitters in the bottom of the 6th. I was thinking so far ahead, I forgot about what was happening here. I was almost thinking Strasburg was up.
We're batting, John.
23, Annalise.
It's okay.
Glosson.
It's 2020.
Thank you, buddy. When I need you, you come through. All right, let's see if Annalise can come through for a base hit. Wind and pitch. Oh, check swing, but she went up and in. It's a strike. On that rise ball, no ball, 1 strike. The ball gets away into center field. Langford to third. And that'll be an error, the 6th error by the Indians. Now just a ground ball will score that 18th run and give the Bee-Diggers a 10-run lead. But you want more than that because then you'd have to hold Strasburg in check. Glosson awaiting the 0-1 pitch. Here it is. Swung on and chopped slowly left side. Fielded by the pitcher. Looks back. Throws to first. And that is in time. Throw to the plate. Langford has to go back to third. And that throw is off her back. And so there's just 1 out. Glosson, she was out. Yeah, she's still on first, but she was clearly out.
Yeah.
Clearly out. 1-3. Yeah, that was a half break.
Number 17,
Langford was
Riley
well
Lake.
off at third, but she got back in. Riley Lake has doubled twice, driven in 3 runs, walked and popped out. If she can deliver, she can drive in Brush's 18th run. Here comes the pitch to Lake. Oh, that's right on the outside corner, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike to the senior second baseman. Tatalini led off the 5th inning with a base hit to right. She was on third to pitch. Swung on, grounded, base hit into center field. That's 4 RBIs for Lake. The ball gets loose in the outfield as Langford scores. Lake slides into second. Her 4th RBI of the game. It's a single, her 3rd hit of the game. And the Bee-Diggers now lead 18-8 in the top of the 6th inning. And that thing was hit sharply up the middle. And that will be an error on the center fielder.
Number 6, Carly Tatalini.
Aubrey Archuleta. Here's Carly Tatalini. 1 for 3. Base hit her last time up. The offering. Strike. Outer half. Thigh high. It's 0-1. But again, you want that 19th run to score because if you don't score another run, you got to keep them at 0 in the bottom of the 6th. And the pitch. Strike outside corner at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to get a JV game in. What, are they going to play 2 innings? Oh, no, there's lights out here.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
sorry.
lights. Yeah.
I didn't see the lights.
I was going to tell you earlier, but
yeah,
I just noticed them too.
It's 2020, the pitch. Outside. Yeah, they're lights. They'll get it in. My bad. My bad. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, the lights are on. I guess I didn't notice them before because I'm getting senile.
Yeah.
And they weren't on. And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, popped up.
Careful,
and that
John.
is right to our left and off the bleachers.
Real
and I'm
loud.
not picking up that ball because we're not allowed and it's too far away.
You
Count
ain't
remains
getting
at
up.
1-2. What's that?
So you ain't getting up.
Well, there are designated players on both sides
Yeah.
that are the ones that will be picking up the softballs. Everybody's been instructed, even on home runs, do not touch the softballs. Very strict COVID measures and procedures here. The pitch. Called strike 3, outside corner. Tatalini strikes out, 2 down.
At the plate for the Beat Diggers, number 3.
Alexis Corral's had a nice game.
Alexis Corral.
Popped out and walked. She singled twice. How about another single? That'll be 3 in a row, and it'll score a 19th run.
That'd be great.
It's what they need right now. From Corral, the Bay Diggers have a run across in the 6th. Swung on, pop foul, now to play off to the right. Again, the only way Brush can win now in 6 innings is if Strasburg does not score unless the Bay Diggers tack on another run, because it's 18-8. This game is approaching the 2.5-hour mark. No balls and 1 strike. The pitch, up and away. Stevens came in relief, and she's thrown 72 pitches. This would be a huge win for Brush. They needed this badly. 1 ball, 1 strike. Strasburg won on Brush's field. Brush looking to do the same in Strasburg. The offering fouled off to the right. A late swing by Corral. 1-2. Again, you don't win games like this, you're not going to be a state tournament team. And they've been winning since the 5th pitch of the game. They've been leading since the 5th pitch of the game when Brooke Rule hit a home run. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The offering upstairs. Ball 2, strike 2. Okay. Let's do this again, Evan. Within 2 degrees. You got to guess the temperature.
It's definitely gotten cooler.
It was 79 at first pitch. 2-2 pitch. Up and away. 3-2.
Let's
Okay.
go 75.
You looked, didn't you? You looked.
No, I didn't.
It's 75.
It
You
is?
hit it on the. Yep, you did.
Oh,
Nice
man,
job.
That's the first.
Nice job. Great job. It's exactly 75 degrees in Strasburg. Payoff pitch. Swung on and hit in the air down the left field side. That is going to be caught. Ooh, nearly dropped, but it was caught there by Grayson Graff to end the inning. But the
We're
Bee
heading
Diggers
to the bottom of the 6th inning.
do pick up a
Diggers
run.
18.
They do it on 2 hits. There were 2 errors and 1 left. If the Indians do not score, the Bee Diggers win in 6 innings. As we head to the bottom of the 6th, Brush 18, Strasburg 8 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Braylon Rule needs to shut down Strasburg in this inning to make this a 6-inning game. The Bee Diggers lead 18-8. Caitlin Swallow is 0 for 2. She will lead off in the bottom of the 6th inning. The pitch bounces in to Abreu. 1 ball and no strikes. A single run by Strasburg sends this game to the 7th. The Bay Diggers scored their 18th run on a base hit by Riley Lake, plating Keely Langford. 1-0 inside. Braylon Rule has been very good over the last 2 innings, but prior to that, walked 6 and hit a couple of batters. The pitch, and that one is outside, 3-0. 3 balls and no strikes. One pitch away from making it 7 walks in the game. That's down the middle, strike 1, 3-1. 131 pitches unofficially. 66 strikes and 65 balls. Makes for a long game, and especially when the Bee Diggers are swinging the way they have with 18 runs. 3-1. Right there, outside corner at the knees. Spotted beautifully, 3-2. Come on, Braylon. One more to come back on this hitter. Get the first out of the inning with the first batter. Let's not wait here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And don't think about it either. Don't think. Just let it fly. Swung on, line into center field, base hit. Right in front of Tatalini. Took a one hop, and Tatalini came in strong. Nothing she could do there on the sinking line drive. First base hit of the game for Swallow. Tara Gustafson has walked.
Number 3, right fielder Tara
A
Gustafson.
sac bunt, and she popped out. She's the 9 hitter. Got to get her out. I don't know if she'll square the bunt down 10. The pitch squaring to bunt and lays it down the first base side. That's going to be a tough play. That's going to be a base hit. Now, runner was trying to take off for third. It'll be a base hit by Gustafson. Nothing the B-Diggers could do. That rolled perfectly up the first base side.
That's Autumn Stone, number 24 at the plate.
Autumn Stone has been very good in this game. 2 walks, a double, and a single. And it looks like this game's going to go to a 7th inning. First and second, nobody out. The pitch, way outside, 1 ball and no strikes. You need a line drive double play right now. Something hits sharply to a bead digger that they can turn to. 1-0, not even close. Way outside, 2-0. Oh, Braylon threw some quality pitches there, but sometimes you just get beat by hitters that execute. 2-0, swung on and foul to the backstop, 2-1. That pitch was up in the strike zone. If she can keep it up there, and Stone swings under it, that can induce the first out. 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch, low, skips to the screen. Runner takes off, throw to third. It's going to be late. That'll be a pass ball off of Abreu's glove. 2 runners advance. It's 3-1. Oh, forget about winning this in 6. You got to just win this period.
Yeah.
3 balls and 1 strike. And the offering. Outside, it's a walk, the 7th issued in the game by Braylon Rule.
At the plate for the Indians, it's number 8.
Remember the first inning?
Smith.
Bases loaded, no outs.
Yep.
A pop-up in the infield, a strikeout, infield single, and then a grounder to short. It did score a run. If they can hold them to 1 or 2 runs, that wouldn't be too bad with a 10-run lead. But Rio Smith, man, she's a good hitter. The pitch in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Rio has walked, singled, doubled, and popped out. She's driven in 3. The offering upstairs, 2-0. I don't know how much energy Braylon's got left. We're going to find out on this pitch. Strike down the middle. Because she had to come in with a strike. Ball 2, strike 1. Yeah, had to come in with a strike there. And the offering. Swung on, popped up, right side. Second baseman Lake to her left, makes the grab. 1 out. Didn't that happen? And it was to Riley Lake in the first inning. Okay, 1 down.
Number 21, Heidi Price.
They just got out a tough hitter.
Yeah.
Heidi Price has been hit by a pitch, reached on an air, singled and grounded out. 1 for 3 in the game. Still a 10-run lead for Brush. Let's see what we can get out of Braylon from this. She's pitched well this inning with the exception of the walk. Swing and a miss at a changeup. Ball gets away from Abreu, but no advance. Abreu was fooled on the pitch because it was a changeup and she squeezed the glove too early. No balls and 1 strike. What a masterful pitch thrown by Braylon Rule. Let's get a grounder back to Braylon. A 1-2-3 double play to end this. Or a liner at somebody, as I mentioned. The offering outside. Nice stab there by Abreu. 1 ball and 1 strike. They just got off. That just got out a very tough hitter in Autumn Stone. 1-1 with the bases loaded. 18-8, bottom of the 6th inning. The offering swung on and fisted in the air, and Georgiou is going to make the catch in foul territory down the third base side on the little flare. 2 down.
Georgiou showing some athleticism right there.
That's the plate for the Indians.
She had to reach
Senior catcher, number 5,
and
Jody
make that kind of
Archuleta.
over
this
the
is it.
shoulder kind of catch, you know what I mean?
If there is no wild pitch and you retire this hitter, you don't go to the 7th. And this would save Braylon quite a few pitches. Jody Archuleta is 2 for 4. The pitch, low. 1 ball and no strikes. You got to throw this one over.
Yep.
This one's got to be over. You don't want to get behind 2-0 and then have to groove one in there. She got away with it earlier to Autumn Stone. Well, I don't think it was the Stone. Maybe it was 2 hitters before that or a hitter before that. 1-0. That's right there. Down the middle for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Swallow at third. Gustafson at second. Stone at first. So, yeah, Stone did reach you. I was talking about the other hitter, the number 2 pitch. Swung on and grounded off of Georgiou. Picked up by Rule. Throws. Nope, no throw. Oh, it'll be an E5. A run scores. The game will go to a 7th inning. It's 18-9.
Courtesy runner.
If she fields that, the game is over. But the run scores. I didn't get a great angle there. I think it was an error because it was hit sharply.
At the plate,
Just didn't get your glove down in time.
Aubrey
Kind of blocked
Archuleta.
it, though.
Archie.
Yeah, that might be scored differently by the dugout. But here's Aubrey Archuleta, who's 0 for 4. Struck out twice and grounded out twice. Oh, it's going to be a long night. The pitch. Low, 1 ball and no strikes. Nearly got out of that, but it did not happen. 1-0 to Archuleta. The offering. That's a strike on the inside corner. So we will head to a 7th inning. But Braylon is, man, after those 3 innings where she really scuffled, she's done a heck of a job. She has put her team in a position to win. 1-1. Swung on and grounded foul down the third base side. Yeah, this is going to turn in close to a 3-hour game. We'll be driving back at night.
I'll be driving back at night.
You will be, yeah. And I will be partially. And the pitch. Swung on and lifted to right center field. Long run for Tatalini, and she's there, shy of the fence, and makes the catch. She's played an outstanding center field today in Strasburg. The Indians keep this thing alive by scoring a single run on 2 hits. There was 1 error, and the bases were left loaded. Let's go to the 7th. Brush 18, Strasburg 9 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
The 7th inning.
John Beltran with Evan James will head to the 7th inning. The Bay Diggers lead the Strasburg Indians in Strasburg 18-9. The Yankees and Indians are coming up on radio only. And the home plate umpire wants to move this game along. And the infield convening after warming up. I mean, come on, guys. We're in the 7th inning already. We can knock that off for a while. I mean, I get it. It's just.
The Beat Diggers, that's number 22, Olivia Odell.
Here we go. Here's Olivia Odell to lead off the 7th. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Up in the zone. No balls and 1 strike. Odell sitting at 0 for 3. Swung on and drilled into the left center field gap. That's a base hit, and Odell's around first. She's going to stay right there. That ball was picked up quickly. Nice shot there by Olivia Odell. Picks up her first hit and the 18th in the game for Brush. Strasburg, believe it or not, has left 14 on base.
Number 9,
14.
Abreu.
Here's Kylie Abreu, who's got a couple of doubles, but she's also struck out twice. The offering. Swung on, pop foul, and out of play. No balls and 1 strike. Meanwhile, Emily Stevens did a nice job on the mound in the circle for Sterling. Strasburg, excuse me. Sterling is a few games away.
Yeah. We'll get there, John.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope we do, because this game has been going on since I was born. Squaring to bunt and up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike on Abreu. This is her 5th plate appearance in the game. Wow. I don't remember the last time I did this much talking. There we go.
Got some water in you?
The pitch. Squaring to bunt. She missed it completely. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes on a pitch down the middle at the knees. We'll be doing our recap during the bottom of the 7th inning. Brooke Rule is about to have her 6th plate appearance. 1-2 on Abreu. The pitch. Swung on, the ball is grounded to short, and it's right through the shortstop, Heidi Price, into left field. That's another error by Strasburg. Sharply hit ground ball, but it was right at her. Indians unofficially have committed 8 errors to the Beat Diggers 4. Brooke Rule with 2 home runs,
shortstop number 11,
4 RBI. She is 3 for 4 in the game. In fact, that's part of the recap already, unless she homers again. The pitch. Strike outside corner. It's 0-1. 6th plate appearance for these hitters coming up for Brush, including Grace Georgiou, who is 2 batters away. And the offering, squaring to bunt, pops it up first base side, and it's foul. And they're going to call the batter out. The batter is out for interference down the first base side as Stone was giving chase, and there's 1 down. As Stone was trying to field that, so she is called out, and that'll bring up Braylon Rule. And Tom Odell wants an explanation. But they're going to call interference on Brooke Rule as she interfered with the ability of the first baseman to make the play.
At the plate for Brush, that's number 4, pitcher Braylon Rule.
Braylon Rule is 1 for 3. Had a base hitter, 4th time up, swung on and fisted in the air behind the plate into the backstop. It's 0-1. Either way, Georgiou's going to hit in this inning unless we have a double play.
Yep.
And again, as soon as we're done here, we'll send it to the Yankees and Indians only on 10:10. It's going to be a very short postgame because we'll be doing the postgame in effect during the bottom of the 7th inning as this game is going to wrap up. That way we can get you to the baseball playoffs. The pitch. Swung on, that ball's grounded to third. Stepping on the bag is Swallow. Throws to first. That's a double play. Georgiou will not bat in the inning. A 5-3 double play ends the inning. The Beat Diggers are kept off the board. As we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, it's Brush 18, Strasburg 9 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Beat Diggers are 3 outs away from wrapping this thing up as they lead 18-9. We'll get to a post-game sponsor here coming up near the end, like snap of a finger. Evan's starting to get cold. I'm getting there.
Yeah. Now, I told John earlier that I wouldn't need my jacket today, but, with the game getting a little longer.
Yeah, a lot longer. Grayson Graff, Emily Stevens, and Caitlin Swallow here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Grayson Graff is 2 for 2. Singled, hit by a pitch, walked and singled. Braylon Rule with a rubber arm is going to take the circle here for the 7th and deliver a strike down the middle on pitch number 154. No balls and 1 strike. Oh, I'd love a 1-2-3.
That'd be amazing.
We almost had a 1-2-3 in the 5th inning. The pitch up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. I mean, I would throw out a $100 bill if I had it right now for a 1-2-3. That's how. 1, it'll get the Beat Diggers the win, and swung on and fisted foul, and that'll play off to the right. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here to Grayson Graff. And 2, we would leave a little bit earlier. 1-2 to the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the 7th inning. Brush 18, Strasburg 9 in Strasburg. The pitch swung on and fouled off to the right. The game has gone 2 hours and 38 minutes. Unofficially. We started a little bit after 4 o'clock. I know, it does. Feels like 4 hours and 38 minutes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch just missed low and away. The loser of this game falls to 6-7. The winner, which hopefully will be the Beat Diggers in the next 3 minutes, will be 7-6. They'll be back in action tomorrow. Keep in mind our first pitch in Loveland is at 4 o'clock against Resurrection Christian, grounded right back to the mound. Soft throw to first and 1 down as Braylon Rule retires Grayson Graff. Here is Emily Stevens. Stevens has grounded out 3 times and popped to center.
Pitcher number 11, senior Emily Stevens.
And we still have tomorrow on the road against Rez at 4 o'clock, as I mentioned. Home against Lions Thursday at 4 o'clock. Beat Diggers are 2 outs away from making this a 7-6 record. Swung on and fouled on the changeup off the end of the bat. No balls and 1 strike. I'll tell you what's been consistent, the temperature.
Yeah.
79 at first pitch. And the pitch, a strike on the inside corner. 73 now. No balls and 2 strikes. Pitch number 162 is going to skip to the backstop. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to Emily Stevens. The lights are on in Strasburg. The offering swung on and popped deep into center, but Tatalini is there. She makes the grab, shy of the fence, 2 down.
1 more to go.
Here is Caitlin Swallow. Popped out, walked, reached in an air and singled. Braylon Rule would be the winning pitcher. The loss would go to the starter, Heidi Price.
23, Caitlin.
We'll tell you right now that Brooke Rule had a solo homer to lead off the game, a 3-run shot, and Riley Lake with 2 doubles, a 2-run double, an RBI double, and a run-scoring single. And the other hitting star, of course, Grace Georgiou. 5 hits in the game, including a 3-run homer. That's essentially your offensive recap. Those were not the only contributors, but the main contributors in this game, Lake, Georgiou, and Brooke Rule. 1-0 pitch, swung on. That ball is grounded for a base hit into left field. What else was going to happen?
Yeah.
And if
That'd be your right
Strasburg does not score in this inning, they've already left 14 on base.
Gustafson at the plate.
Tara Gustafson is 1 for 3. But Braylon right now is throwing strikes, a lot of strikes. 87 strikes now and 78 balls, much better the last 3+ innings. And that is inside, 1 ball and no strikes. This will be a 2-hour and 41-minute game at the least if she retires her on this pitch. The offering upstairs, 2-0. Now, I don't think I couldn't leave any faster. I couldn't.
No, it's freezing.
I couldn't. Oh, well
it's not
no,
freezing,
no, it's
but-
not that. No, play. Let's not get to the extreme. 2-0 pitch. That's way outside of the number 9 hitter.
It's kind of
3-0.
unusual.
Well, but it's
I'm not outside a lot
yeah.
in this
Yeah.
kind of.
3 balls and no strikes. Now we know that Autumn Stone waits to hit next, but not yet. That's a strike. 3-1. Let's go, Braylon. I mean, I'm clapping right now for her. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's
Crossing
get out
those
of here.
fingers and those toes.
3-1 pitch, and that's down the middle for a strike on the inside half. It's 3-2. 1 pitch away. 170 have been thrown by the sophomore. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. It bounces to the screen. Quite frankly, that wasn't even close. She pulled up on that. Autumn Stone will not bat. You will now bat, excuse me.
Autumn Stone.
Double, a walk, a single, and a walk. She's been on base 5 times.
Got to get this last out here.
The pitch. High, 1 ball and no strikes. Runners at first and second with 2 down in the bottom of the 7th. Brush leads Strasburg 18-9. The pitch. Ay, please, outside. 2-0. Tom Odell is barking encouragement at his pitcher. 2-0 pitch. Swung on and driven into the right center field gap. To her right is Odell. Oh, and she nearly had it. It went over her glove. That's going to score a couple of runs. And the hitter's going to get the third. We'll call it a triple, but I thought she had it. And then the ball's off the side of the fence. Odell was there. And Tom Odell thought she should have had it. Wow. I mean, she must have taken a strange angle. I thought she had that ball, didn't you? No?
I think she did, but
Yeah, I don't know how she misplayed it.
no
But
clue.
it's a straight-up triple. It's 18-11. I really thought she had that. She closed the gap. She showed a lot of speed. But then when she went to reach up, she couldn't haul it in. The offering. Strike. Belt high. It's 0-1. Here to Rio Smith. Yeah, I can't sit down anymore. Well, Strasburg's going to pick up a couple of runs on a couple of hits in the inning, at least. The pitch. Swung on, lifted to left field. Corral is back. She's got room. She makes the catch. And thank goodness this game is finally over. The B-Diggers win 18-11. B-Digger post-game show is brought to you by
Buildings by Design. When it comes to experience, Buildings by Design is the best in the business. Quality, commitment, and experience makes Buildings by Design the only choice when it comes to your next project.
Final line score, 18 runs on 18 hits, 4 errors by Brush, 8 left on base. Strasburg, 11 runs, 13 hits, 7 errors, 15 left on base. Time of the game, 2 hours and 45 minutes as the B-Diggers move to 7-6. Strasburg drops to 6-7. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 4 o'clock when the B-Diggers take on the Resurrection Christian Cougars in Loveland. Yankees and Indians coming up radio only in just a few minutes. For Evan James, I'm John Beltran. The final score in Strasburg. The B-Diggers defeat the Indians 18-11 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.